Yes, good afternoon, people. How are we today? Hope everyone's doing well. Thank you very much for joining me yet again on another show. Big up to everyone in the house. I do have to apologise for the light on my face. I am sitting right by a window and the sun is beaming through the curtains and everything. So I do apologise, guys. Nothing much I can do about that. I hope you're doing well, guys. Hope you're doing well. Lots to talk about on today's show. Gotta basically talk about trying to rebuild Liverpool's midfield. I've got some interesting things to talk about. I'm all for selling Mo Salah this summer, and I'm going to tell you the reasons why. We're going to rebuild Liverpool's midfield. Jurgen Klopp's press conference after the embargo section. Why I'm there behind Jurgen again. Big up to the manager. Yeah, so lots and lots to talk about, guys. Let's hope you're all doing well. And obviously, we got a massive Merseyside derby tonight. A massive Merseyside derby that I can't wait for. I'm actually looking forward to the game. I'm actually looking forward to the game. Yeah, the old school Liverpool crown paint shirt is on today as well. But yeah, big up to everyone in there. So you're all doing well on your Monday lunchtime. Obviously, guys, don't forget to go and smash that like button. Subscribe if you've not done so far. We're on the way to 4K. So hit the subscription, hit the likes, and I would really, really appreciate it. And as always, big up to everyone in the house. Big up to Trap. How you doing, my man? Daz, Egyptian King, Psychedelic. Turen, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Lit intro, big up. 6 times in the house. Jen in the house. Fazor in the house. Messi reject. PSG offer Neymar up for sale. Neymar going to Chelsea. That's what I've heard. Big up Bailey in the house. Honesty in the house. Demo, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Stephen, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Mohammed. Iber, how you doing? Michael. Who else we got here? MP, Captain Sal. Max. Mike, how you doing, mate? Big up the Spirit. Lee. Look at all the beautiful people in the house already. And Aaron as well. Big up Aaron as well. Hope you're all doing well, guys. Hope you're all doing well. So let's talk about... First of all, I just want to talk about Jurgen Klopp. So as everyone knows, I've gone back and forward with Jurgen Klopp most of this season, yeah? I've been going back and forward with Jurgen most of this season. As everyone knows, if you're watching my content on YouTube and listen to me on Twitter and stuff like that. And look, there's issues with Jurgen this season that I'm not going to pretend isn't there. You know, I'm not a blind fan. I'm a fan that knows what's happening in the... Like, I'm not... my ball knowledge ain't great. I ain't going to lie. I ain't got, like, great ball knowledge or anything like that. I'm not that sort. I'm not going to pretend I'm something I'm not. But, you know, I can comment on things that I'm witnessing. And, you know, Jurgen this season has not been great. You know, Jurgen this season has not been great. His coaching has been erratic. His tactical choices have been a bit strange. And everything around the club doesn't help either at the same time. But I can't give Jurgen a pass because everyone hates the owners when his tactics have been a bit inept. You know what I mean? It's just a fact. But still my manager. You know, he's still the manager of my football club. You know, you can have someone in your job or someone in your family that you don't think are being good at the moment. You know, you could have someone in your family who've gone down a bad path, like a brother or a sister or something like that, have gone down, followed a bad path, and they're not the person they used to be. It's not the person you once knew, but they're still your brother, they're still your sister at the end of the day. Jurgen's gone down a path this season, ain't been great. His coaching's been erratic, his tactics have been strange, his substitutions have been mental. But at the end of the day, he's still the manager of the football club, so I have to back him at the moment. Big up, Lakers. How you doing, my friend? But that's where I stand with it. That's where I stand with it. I'm not going to sit idly by and just pretend everything's rosy when it's not. You know, there's a lot of fans out there who just think everything's rosy and like everything will be better next season. Just wait, look, and won't have no criticism of anything this season. It's just mental to me. We criticise other managers, other owners as fans about other things all the time, but we never criticise. We find it hard to criticise our own, and I get it. We find it very, very difficult to criticise our own. Maybe we've got to start getting used to that. We should be able to criticise our own. You know, I'm not going to sit in this belief that Jurgen's done nothing wrong and he's been hamstrung by owners and all that. That's just bollocks. It's not true, man. It's really not true. It's a rubbish statement. It ain't true. You know, he's got players there he can do a lot better with, and I think he's admitted himself in his press conferences that he's done wrong. You know, he needs to learn, and that's cool. That's what I want to hear. You know, I don't want to hear a manager saying, "Oh, I've done nothing wrong," or blame everyone else. He's blaming himself, which is I like. You know, he's sticking up for his staff. Now, no matter what people think of Pep Linders or Kuban Minor or any of the people behind the scenes, yeah, they're his staff, and he sticks up for them. You know, I'd stick up for if I was a boss and I had people I had to stick up for. I'd stick up for them in public. Behind the scenes might be a little bit different, but in public, I'd stick up for them. You know, you don't throw people under the bus for no reason. You know, you don't throw family under the bus, do you? So you stick by people all the time, and so I don't blame him for that. Um, Obviously, he's coming for people now, Jurgen. Look, I like that Jurgen's coming for people. I ain't go. I think it's good. It's what I want to see from Jurgen. Come for people. Come with your chest. Don't be afraid to say things. You know, Jurgen's getting annoyed that people keep having to go at Pep Linders. Then go for him, Jurgen. Call people out. Go for him. He's your coach. He's your mate. Go for him. Stick by him. I don't mind that. I really don't mind a man, sticking by another man when he thinks he's been dealt a hard times. He's his mate. Look, guys, in the chat, if you all had mates, yeah, and someone kept slagging them off time after time after time, you'd stick by your mate, wouldn't you? You know, in public, you go, don't you say this about my mate, don't you go at my mate like this, don't you talk about my mate like this. And behind the scenes, you might have a quiet word with him, go, look, people talking about this stuff about you, you know, that's chat, maybe time to chill, things like that. But in public, you stick up for him, don't you? And that's just what Jurgen's doing with his staff. He's just sticking up for him. He's just sticking up for him. Honestly, thank you for the super chat. I've starred it and I'll read it out in a minute, my friend. I've seen it. I'll read it out in a minute, my friend. Thank you very much. No, so he's just sticking up for the people he likes, and I don't blame that. Now, I'm all for that. I want to see fighting Jurgen. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see Jurgen giving up. Like lately, I've watched Jurgen and I think he looks like he's giving up a little bit. He looks like his head's always down. He's stooping. He's never up straight. He looks like he's given up. And that's the one thing I didn't want Jurgen to do. I didn't want Jurgen to give up. I wanted Jurgen to carry on doing what he was doing. And the last, this press conference that we've seen the last couple of days and the embargo bit that came out last night, I'm like, that's the Jurgen I want to see. A bit of fight in the manager again, a bit of belief in the manager yet again, because it does come down to the players, guys. You know, if your manager is all publicly like head down, shoulders forward, looking depressed, looking upset, it feeds down to the players, you know. It feeds down to the players. Of course it will. But if your manager is more up straight, got more smile on his face and up for it and up for the fight and he's being positive about things, then players will follow suit with Jurgen, with their manager like that. So I'm up for it. I'm up for it. Tonight I'm up for as well. Now I know a lot of you in the chat, I'm reading your chats right now, and a lot of you are a bit worried about tonight. I'm actually up for it for tonight. I think we're going to do Everton tonight. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like we're going to do them. I feel like we're going to do them. We're getting some of our players back from injury. You know, got Jota's probably going to be in the squad tonight. Massive boost. Got Virgil probably not going to be in tonight. I think Klopp said Monday night come too soon for him, but he's going to be there against Real Madrid. Yeah, we're getting players back, and it's exciting times. And Bobby's back. No matter what everyone thinks about Bobby Firmino, he can be a difference maker for this team. He really can. You know, I know people think he's lost it a little bit. He ain't the player he was, which is true. You know, he ain't. But he's still got something about him that makes a difference to this side when he plays. Diaz back running again. You know, I love the fact Diaz is back out running again. Let's don't rush him back, low. I want him to take his time. Big up Jack in the chat. How you doing, Jack? Jack, if you're available, man, you want to come on, I can send you the link. Big up Jack. Big up all the super chats, guys. What I'm doing, I'm starring all the super chats. I'm not ignoring you. I've starred them all, and I'll read them all out in due course. Okay, guys, I'll read them all out in due course, just so we can keep the show flowing and stuff like that. And then I'll read out all the super chats in due course. I'll be doing that from there on, guys. Okay, just so I'll read out all the super chats in one lump, spell together then. But yeah, I'm up for it, guys. I'm literally up for the game tonight. People coming back from injury, it's just a positive, you know what I mean? Anything that can give this team a bit of a positive lift right now. Look, after listening to Jurgen Klopp's press conference, especially the the bit after the embargo bit that came out last night, because that sort of like picked me up a little bit. I was like, yeah, that's the Jurgen I want to hear. That's the fight back I want to hear. He's not leaving this football club. He's not walking away. And I love that. I do love that. And big up, Jack. I'll send you the link, mate. What I do love that. He wants to stay with the job. He thinks he can turn this job around. I like that as a manager. I like the fight from a manager like that. I think that's all we want to see. Big up, Gary. How you doing, mate? I think that's all we want to see. A fight from our manager. Like I've been saying the last few months, that fight doesn't seem to be there. And now just lately, it's like maybe he's getting his pep back. Maybe he's getting... he knows players are coming back into the team now. There's not many injured now. In fact, I think the only injury... I think Konate's still out for a little bit. Thiago's going to be out for 4 weeks. Look, Thiago being injured don't shock me. I don't know why anyone's shocked about it. Thiago's Thiago. He gets injured. We're going to lose him for Real Madrid. It is what it is, guys. There's no point getting upset about it anymore. There's no point getting angry about it anymore. It is what it is, unfortunately, with Thiago. Injuries happen. He's got an injury. There's not a lot we can do about it. So be. But yeah, Thiago and Konate and Diaz, I think they're the only really 3 first teamers that are out injured at the moment. I think they're the only 3 first teamers that are out injured at the moment of them 3. So you take them, Diaz, he's be back probably for the second leg against Real Madrid, he said. Excellent. That's brilliant. Konate should be back, I think, in a couple of weeks' time. Again, good news all round. So there is a lot to look forward to, guys. Look, if we get a win tonight, it starts the season off. Been saying that. Got to win tonight, though. We have to win tonight. It's a massive game. Massive game that we have to win. And I think we can get the job done tonight, guys. I really, really do. I think we can get the job done. I'm not too stressed about tonight. Now, obviously, I'm doing the watch along this evening. So if it does all go tits up, it's going to be fun watching me explode. So, yeah, make sure you're all tuned in tonight when I'm doing the watch along for the Merseyside derby because, yeah, I could explode. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I'm trying to find Jack here on Twitter to send him the link. Oh man. VVT needs to start the game before Madrid. Yeah, what is there a league game before? Have we got a game between now and after today and Madrid? I can't remember. Let me know in the chat, guys. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Just trying to find Jack on Twitter. I'm just trying to find you, Jack. It's Newcastle. Newcastle. Nice, easy game against Newcastle. There you go. Newcastle on Saturday. Yeah, Virgil will probably play that game. Big up, Pac-Man, up the top. He's been a blue since the day I was born. Big up, Pac-Man. I'm worried FSG won't spend in the summer. This is why they need to go now. So obviously there's news today as well that, FSG are going to be giving Jurgen a massive war chest. I mean, I don't know about all that. What do you guys reckon? Do you reckon FSG are going to give him a massive war chest? I'm just not too sure about all that sort of stuff. I really ain't. Look, we're going to talk about the summer transfers window today and what we can do to make this team better next season. I gave the invite, Jack. I gave you the invite when you're ready, my man. Yeah, I mean, what's a war chest for FSG? See, look, what is an FSG war chest? For me, an FSG war chest is about 35 million, ain't it? that's an FSG war chest. Let's be real with you. What's an FSG war chest when it's at home? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, big up Hunter in the house. Most Liverpool players are past their best. I agree with that. I'm not here to disagree with that at all. £2.50. Klopp will get a couple of mil. Exactly. Some chocolate buttons. Do you know what, Pac-Man? I do like a chocolate button. I ain't gonna complain. No, we need a PO box. Man City have got Aaron's come with violence straight away. We need a PO box like City have got. A packet of fags and a cheeky smile, Yeah, Pac-Man, what's happened to Haaland? Has he got a fire injury? A lot of rumours that he's got a fire injury. He's going to miss the game against Arsenal Wednesday. It's the game. Look, guys, by the way, it's the Arsenal-Man City game live on Wednesday because I didn't think they could show live Premier League football the same night a Champions League game is on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they can they? Is it on Amazon? Wow. Well, I didn't think. Weren't there rules that you couldn't have a live Premier League game on when there was a Champions League game on at the same time? I might have to do that game instead of a Champions League game, because I'm doing the Spurs AC Milan game Tuesday night for a laugh. So yeah, if everyone wants to come and watch the watch along with me on Tuesday night as well, Tottenham Hotspur against AC Milan, I thought I'd do that for a giggle. And Wednesday I was going to do another Champions League game, but if Arsenal and Man City are going to be shown, I've got to watch that. That's bigger than any Champions League game on Wednesday night. Arsenal Man City is bigger than any Champions League game Wednesday night, so I'm going to have to watch that. I'll probably watch that if it's on Amazon. Yeah, we'll smash that out of the park as well, guys. That'd be a great watch. Man City beating Arsenal to go top of the league. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Look, do I want Man City to win the Premier League? No. Do I want Arsenal to win the Premier League? No. Do I want to see Arsenal cry if they don't win the Premier League? Yeah. Am I here for the downfall? Am I here for the downfall? Yeah. PSG buying, you're watching Spurs. Yeah, man. Yeah. Because no one else is going to do a watch along for Spurs. No one else is going to do a watch along for Spurs, are they? So why not? Why not? Plus, ain't PSG buying on Wednesday? If I've got that wrong, I should really do the PSG buying game. I thought PSG buying was Wednesday. No, that's on Tuesday, isn't it? I swear that's Tuesday. Right, you lot have got me worried now. Hang on. Oh, Champions League fixtures. I probably fucked right up, ain't I? I probably fucked right up, ain't I? And I've already sorted all the thumbnails, done the VR, you motherfuckers. Yeah, so PSG buying is tomorrow. So I'm going to do PSG buying. I will swap that out. Milan Spurs. No, that can take a back seat. Fucked right up. Yeah, the Spurs game is tomorrow, same as the Bayern Munich and PSG game. I'll do PSG Bayern Munich. Sorry, Tottenham Milan. You know, I thought you were Wednesday. Oh, God. Oh, dear. 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 Yeah. I'll change the game. Don't worry. I will change the game. No. I will change the game. Don't worry about it, guys. I will. Fuck up. Oh dear. Oh dear. Big up, luck. When are you doing, man? Anyone but United. Let's see Arsenal get. Just hope. Yeah. Look, Man United are in this title race. That's not right. I've got a question for everybody. Let me just pause on the Liverpool thing 1 second. We'll get back to that in 1 second, guys. Just take a pause on the Liverpool stuff 1 second. Does anyone think this is a weak Premier League this season? Does anyone think this is a weak Premier League this season? And I'm not slagging off Arsenal because they're top of the league or anything like that. Arsenal deserve where they deserve to be, yeah? But does anyone think this is a weak Premier League this season? We have got Newcastle in the top 4 on 11 draws. They have drawn 11 games and are in the top 4 right now. You got Tottenham crumbling. You got Chelsea crumbling. You got Liverpool crumbling. You got Fulham are in the European places. You got Brighton in the European places. Is it a weak league in general this season? Not just anything to do with Arsenal. Arsenal deserve to be where they should be. They're top of the league. You know, if the league was as good as it has been in previous years, Arsenal might still be top of the league. But I think everything would be a bit. Is it just a weaker league this year? It's a mental league. Newcastle. No disrespect to Newcastle, but they're 4th with 11 draws. That's mad. That is mad. 11 draws to be 4th. And I don't think anyone's been that good this season. Look, Pac-Man will agree with himself. Man City are not the Man City of last season or the year before. They're nowhere near. But yet they're not comfortably second, but they're second in the Premier League, yeah? They're second in the Premier League. And if they win on Wednesday, they're actually top of the Premier League, yeah, on goal difference. But City are nowhere near. This ain't the City, like Pac-Man will agree with this, yeah? This ain't the City team that have been going toe-to-toe with Liverpool for the last few years. Nowhere near, right? Nowhere near. Nowhere near. And they could be top of the league by Wednesday night. That's why I'm saying, is it a weaker league this season? Is the league a bit shambolic this season? Is it as strong as it previously was? Yeah, Arsenal have been excellent, Ash. I can't disrespect Arsenal at all. Can't disrespect Arsenal at all. Arsenal deserve to be where they are. They deserve to be where they are, no doubt about it. But you look at Chelsea and Liverpool in 9th and 10th. You look where, Fulham and Brighton in the European places, Tottenham in 5th, Newcastle 4th with 11 draws. Man United were 2nd yesterday before City played. And I don't think United have got a great team. Did you see the Man United 11 that played against Leeds? Leeds should have won that game easy. That was a weak team. They got Weghorst up front, for goodness sake. And they're going for the title. So it's just mad. I just don't think this league is as strong as it was. Let's bring Jack in. Big up, Jack. How you doing, mate?
Long time no speak, mate. Hope you're well. You've been having me
Yeah,
on.
doing good. Doing good, man. Doing good. Look at you rocking the old Warrior shirt there.
Aye, the good times, mate, isn't it?
You've been good, though?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Hopefully everyone's in chat's been good. Yeah, a couple of lads come down anyway, Ricky and Luke. So I looked after them for the weekend. Well, tried my best.
Tried your best.
Tried to get Ricky non-arrested.
That go all right, did it?
He wanted it. We've done videos in the past how you get an FSG ban and all that. I was like, lad, you wouldn't survive 2 seconds outside the ground.
No,
but,
that's it.
How are you, mate? You good?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, mate. I'm not doing too bad. I can't complain. I was just talking there. I was just taking a pause off the old Liverpool talk for a second until you came in, and then just chatting about the Premier League. I was just thinking to myself, is the Premier League weaker this season than it has been in previous years? Because I've been looking at the Premier League table. You got Newcastle in 4th with 11 draws. That's just mad. You got Brighton and Fulham, who deserve to be in European places. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, Arsenal deserve where they should be because they're top of the league. City, as me and Pac-Man were just saying, are nowhere near as good as they were last season or the year before, but could still go top of the league, Wednesday night. Man United, you look at their team, is it that great? That 11 that played against Leeds yesterday was shocking, but they went 2nd for a little bit. Obviously, Liverpool and Chelsea are terrible. Tottenham, terrible.
Do you think it is or not? Or
I think it's a little weaker. Yeah. I think it is a little weaker this year. There is no doubt about that. But this is like people will say I'm just saying this because of Arsenal. I'm not. Arsenal deserve to be where they be. They got 50 odd points in a Premier League season so far. Yeah. Tremendous. But I look at this Arsenal 11. And I think they are a good
couple
team.
Of injuries away.
Yeah, they're a good team. But I don't think they're a title-winning team. I look at their 11, and I look at the 11 that City and Liverpool have had the last few years, and I don't think Arsenal's 11 come anywhere near that 11s of Liverpool and City the last few years. And what I look at Arsenal now, I think Arsenal are tiring. They look tired to me. They look like Martinelli's not been great. I don't think. Look, I might get slandered for this. I'm going to say it anyway. I think Martinelli's a bit of a show pony, right? You know when you get them beautiful horses in equestrians that do that amazing walking,
a luxury player,
and it looks beautiful and all that, yeah. But you put me in the Grand National and they'd be shit, wouldn't they? You know what I mean? That's what I mean with Martinelli. I think he looks pleasing on the eye, but what does he actually do? I've always said that. And then Saka is far more productive. But
I love him. I love Saka.
They're young, and they're tiring because they got no replacements. They got no replacements in that team at all. And that's why I still think Man City will win this Premier League, because Man City just got a better squad than Arsenal. They got a stronger 11 than Arsenal.
Most important.
And they've got that championship winning experience. What's your thoughts, Jack?
In relation to, I think the league, in terms of when you were speaking about the other teams like Brighton and Newcastle, I think it's kind of even itself out, as you alluded to. You and the lads in chat have said about City. We all know City's exploits this season. Still getting a lot of goals, as we know, with Haaland. I think it's evened itself out in relation to, obviously, 3rd place down to 10th. In relation to any team, possibly. You look at Fulham, for example. I think they're getting... I don't think any of us had them even in the top half. In all honesty, I think I had them quite low down in my predictions this season. Battered us on the first game of the season. Brighton, I tell you what, De Zerbi's done a tremendous job. I think if you can keep hold of
Yeah.
him, I'd love a season. Of course, we want to see Liverpool getting top four, but if it meant us missing out and it meant a Newcastle and a Brighton getting into Champions League, imagine Brighton rocking up to the Bernabeu or like the Camp Nou or something mad, or it'd be amazing. It's like that season when
It'd be amazing.
It'd
be amazing. It'd be amazing, but it'd sort of be it'd be embarrassing on the Premier League at the same time, and that's not being harsh on Brighton.
Would you not say that the Premier League's stronger than most of the other leagues in Europe, though, mate? Because you look at
the Premier League's the strongest. The Premier League's the strongest league in the world. But the problem is, right? I have this discussion with a lot of people all the time. The Premier League's the number one in the world, but like a lot of other people, like Italian, Spanish fans, Italian fans, French fans, they will come round and say, well, why do the lower level English clubs never win the Europa Leagues and the Conference Leagues? Why are they always going to Spanish teams, Italian teams, Dutch teams, French teams, whatever? And you got to think and go, yeah, that's a fair point. But like, if I put Brighton in the Italian league tomorrow with the same setup, the same players, where do I think Brighton would finish in Italian football?
I'd say top 10.
2. Yeah, they'd be in top 10 comfortably.
Yeah, I'd say top 10, easy, mate. I think
they'd be top 10 comfortably. So I wouldn't always go with what someone wins in Europe. Yeah, Liverpool have been around since 1892, and we've only won 6 European trophies. Does that mean we're not actually that good? Do you know what I mean? It's all.
I think if you do you think it's down to finance though as well? Chat, let us know in terms of finances. I think due to you only look at. I was speaking to the lads this week. You look at the way in which the leagues they help the other clubs. I think the Premier League's the only team, rather one of the only leagues, probably there's a couple others that don't do it, but you look at the Bundesliga, look at the Italian leagues and certain other top leagues in Europe, they cater to the European clubs because they know it's a massive source of revenue to bring that money into the league. Yes, it might go to the top team, but that therefore would filter through a lot of the top other clubs in the league as well. I think there's that much money in the Premier League. I think if Europa League had a lot more revenue, and obviously European Cup, we know. I'd say we know the money we've earned, but we don't spend it. That generates a lot. The Champions League, and that's all against some points of the bloody Super League in terms of the finances and that. But yeah, I think Brighton would do very well, mate. Napoli slapped our ass this season in Champions League.
Yeah,
I think
great.
I've seen watched the game this weekend. I think they won 2-0 as well. Had a couple of teams on Miyake. And it's tremendous. It's quite remarkable in all honesty.
Napoli are dark horses of the European Cup, in my opinion. Napoli are a decent side, but I just wondered about the Premier League. I think I can't remember who commented. Someone said in the chat a minute the reason Newcastle are fourth is because they've only lost one game. It's not to do with the 11 draws. The thing is, though, in a previous campaign, in previous league campaigns, when Newcastle still been fought in the top 4 of 11 draws and 1 loss, I'm not sure. That's what I'm looking at.
You look at us winning the league, mate, and losing the leagues as well.
Yeah,
I mean, like for us in the last 3-4 years is catastrophic.
I mean, we lost the league by 1 point by only losing 2 games and drawing like 6 matches. So but winning the rest. So that's why we're up there. So if Newcastle actually took about 3-4 of them draws off, and 2 of them were losses and 2 of them were wins, it'd be better for them. But yeah, it's a mad one. It's a mad one. But yeah, back onto the Liverpool thing. Before I get to that, let me just do the super chats. Let's big up all the super chats because it's the right thing to do. Honestly, says apparently FSG is all ready to invest this summer. I hope it's true and not a sick joke. Well, investment might happen. It just might not be the investment everyone wants. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Big up Jen says Jurgen, bring forth the Tyler Morton. Oh, I know what Jen's on about. So I downloaded a picture of Tyler Morton. So I put Tyler Morton in Google. Yeah, what I should have really done was Tyler Morton Liverpool player, because this is the Tyler Morton I got. And not Tyler Morton. Yeah, Pimp in distress. Big up to you, my man. Deepest Jamie. Now that City have been charged publicly, what we all know anyway. So now it means nothing if they win. Let them win the Premier League. Better the learners because it means zip. Yeah, I mean that's true. If City do carry on winning Premier Leagues and it all gets taken away from them, then it ain't going to matter. I just can't have Arsenal winning the Premier. I just want to see Arsenal's downfall. Can you imagine the final day of the season, Arsenal don't win the Premier League? AFTV is going to go off the chain.
Making money. That's what they're doing. They're making a lot of money.
Be honesty again. Thank you for the super chat, man. Question: if the Premier League is the strongest, why don't the Prem teams never beat the Spanish teams in finals? The Spanish teams got like 33 Europa titles. The English teams don't come close. That is a big point. I mean, I'm not sure. Look, European football, sometimes knockout football, there's a lot of luck in knockout football, of course there is. And I think the grueling aspect of the Premier League also affects the Premier League in European competitions as well. Look, Bayern Munich, right? They get, I think in Spain and Germany, don't they? If their team have got a Champions League game on the Wednesday,
they get it cleared.
They get a break, don't they?
Yeah.
They let the league allow them that break to then go and play the European games, so the players are fresh. Where in England they're like, right, if you're playing Wednesday, you can also play Sunday night. It's just it's mental. It's absolutely mental. Plus, we don't really get a winter break like the rest of Europe does. We have Christmas games and all that playing through. So when you come to an end of a season, when you come towards the end of it, April, May time, when you get into semi-finals, quarterfinals, and finals, and all that, it's hard going for players that play in the Premier League. Listen to all the players that have played in the Premier League, and they talk about when they leave the Premier League how difficult the Premier League is. Like Pep Guardiola came here and didn't realise how hard the league was. He thought he was going to walk into here, win it in his first season, and finish. I think he finished just in the top 4 that first season, didn't he?
Yeah.
After a good start. And it's like, no, this Premier League, man, it's the hardest league in the world. And it's the hardest for a reason, because the top of the Premier League can lose to the team at the bottom of the Premier League, right? If
As we've learned this season.
Yeah, if you don't play with 100% of your ability, you can lose to anyone in this league. You can lose to anyone in this league where, most of the times in the other top European leagues, the big teams get a lot of benefits that the Premier League don't. And I think that might be a reason. Plus, I think the reason English clubs are doing better in Europe the last few years before that is because the league has got more technical as well now. Because there's a lot more technical
influence of
players.
managers, say, mate.
Yeah,
but mainly managers as well, mate. It's amazing the plethora of managers.
Yeah, and that's suiting European football when teams go into the European finals in European competitions now. That's why Liverpool got 3 finals in 5 years. You had, what was it, the other year you had
Chelsea,
Arsenal in a final, Liverpool Sayers in a final.
United,
it was all English clubs. Because the English teams are getting better technically now. So they're getting better in Europe where, 10, 12, 15 years ago, English teams were never doing anything in Europe. It was always the Spanish or German teams or Italian teams. And I think that's another reason as well. So I reckon in another 10 years' time, when you do that stat in 10 years' time, I reckon you'll see more English teams have been 100%. Either in finals or won it more than any other nation. So
Unai Emery at Villa, like the king of the Europa League, 10th in the Premier League or whatever.
We don't take that seriously as a league, and I don't know why. Literally, I've not really spoke to any fan who supports an English club who takes Europa League seriously, but all the other nations do. They see it as a European silverware. Look at Mourinho celebrating the Conference League. It's like, yeah, I've won every trophy now there is to winning football. I won it. It's like, and we're like, what's this shit? What's this shit?
That's for us, that Jay and Jav, for those Reds, like that's football heritage, isn't it? Like we're that accustomed to it. Obviously, prior to Jurgen Klopp, it was a couple of years, of course, that we weren't in Europe. That's the thing. I think it goes to, as you said, top of the show, Jay, in terms of Jurgen Klopp basically rallying the troops, rallying us all, get behind the Reds as well. And we sometimes do. Well, I'd say I know probably I do take it for granted in terms of just European football, but as I said, we just enjoy every single moment of it because you never know. Another team could be getting taken over by another bloody billionaire and getting a load of money pumped in, but just live in the moment, mate. That's what we're going to do tonight, mate, with the game.
Exactly. Big up Amy. She says Bundesliga is close watch of American European leagues because so many USA military bases in Germany. Yeah, that is a point. And you get a lot of German American players in Germany as well, don't you? Because of that. Honesty with another super chat. Mate, big up Honesty again. Maybe I'm wrong. I think Spanish teams take the Europa League and Conference League more seriously, and they don't care how they win as long as they win. Hate or love Madrid. They are a prime example. Yeah, exactly. They it's a big trophy to them. It's like the World Club Championship. You know, Real Madrid just won that the other day, didn't they? And it's important to their history. You know, people in England just don't take it seriously and don't think it's a real competition. And I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand why we think as a country everything is beneath us. Like people think that like the League Cup is more important than the European Super. Like it's the League Cup more important.
Yeah, when we won the Club World Cup, mate, like people go, oh, Club World Cup, but hang on, it's like an elite trophy. You need to actually have won over competitions to actually get there.
You have to win the biggest trophy in club football to actually participate in it. So it's like it can't be seen as shit. You know what I mean? Reports coming out that Elon Musk is making inquiries for United. Good, take over United. And he can ruin it like he ruined Twitter. Good, go for it. Go for it. Elon Musk is a joke. You know, if it hasn't got space technology on it, he ain't got a clue what he's doing. Let him take him. Let him take him. He's useless. But talking about useless, let's talk about Liverpool, Jack. No one takes the World Club seriously because you've pretty much won it as soon as you've won the Champions League. Not true. Liverpool lost in there once. We lost to Independent.
I think.
Yeah, we lost to them, didn't we? Or Sao Paulo, one of them. Yeah, it's not true. It's not always true. But no, you've got to be in it to win it, man. I mean, Batman's a City fan, so he ain't going no, is he? Big up, Batman. So Liverpool, Jack. Liverpool's midfield. So we all know the issues of our midfield. It's not great. You know, we got Fabinho, Thiago, Hendo, Milner, all the wrong side of 30. I don't care what anyone says. Fabinho's not 29, he's 34. I don't care what anyone says. But and he's Peruvian. He's not Brazilian. It's been proven. They all need to leave the football club, in my opinion. Probably apart from Hendo. I'll give it a Hendo. But for me, everyone else needs to leave this football club. You got Oxlade-Chamberlain leaving. You got Keita leaving. We need a massive rebuild in this area. I think Jurgen Klopp knows that now. I don't think he was too aware of it at the beginning of the season, which is why he made the statements he made. But as the season's gone on, I think he's looked at it now and like, look at the Fabinho thing. Fabinho just completely got dropped. He got completely and utterly dropped, didn't he? And I've not seen Klopp actually. He almost hang him out to dry a little bit because he did mention him in a press conference. He barks at him all the time. There's something not right with Fabinho.
Yeah.
When I look at Stefan's taking his place, an 18-year-old kid from the youth team, and Klopp's made it a thing at the moment that Stefan's fighting for his place.
Yeah, he's learned a lot from this squad, mate. And as you said, top of the show, the comments he made to like yesterday or no, to the embargo section that got released last night to the press on Twitter or on social media in general. It was, I think he's had sat down and actually reevaluated the whole squad. And he's been let down, mate, like all of us. Like these players have been very good for us for the best part of the last 3-4 years. Took us so far, as he said. You need to re-energise, new fresh bloods. Every top side done it. City, Manchester United under Ferguson. Top teams around Europe, Bayern's as well. Won 10 Bundesligas on the bounce. It's every team goes through cycles, and as much as it annoys us, it's going to take another year to, as we've spoke about, we've done countless videos, but the players will be there, but the structural basis of Liverpool, as we all know, is very disjointed at every level of the club, mate. But was it yesterday, mate? Obviously, apologies if I'm wrong, but it was something got announced in terms of someone getting appointed at sports science or some departments. That was a step in the right direction, whatever department that was, anyway. But it's we just need quality, and fundamentally, mate, we need quality into the club, and replacing what we will be, as you said, mate, with those players that you listed off. We need quality first and foremost to really get us back up to that level, because Newcastle, they get European football. They're going to be one of the top teams in Europe. City, obviously, their money's not going to go away as well. United, Ten Hag, as much as I dislike it and all of us do, but he's doing a very good job at this moment in time. He's hopefully it tails off for their Ten Hag, but I doubt it will.
Look, I've been saying it United for a while. I thought United had a decent squad. It's just they were badly managed for a long time. Bad management can ruin good players. We've seen that before with other teams. And now Man United have got their act together. We've got a serious coaching. And you can see the difference. And you know what I mean? Although I don't think Man United's squad's that great at this moment, but Ten Hag's taken them he's just giving them confidence. What he's done, he's come in and gone, right, you've had shit for years. I'm a proper coach. And he's just gave them confidence. And the players are just playing on confidence right now. And they are where they deserve to be at the end.
You're getting away with it. Was it this week you played Shaw and Maguire centre half? Be Ten Hag, like the previous managers he had. That would, if you would have asked a Man United fan, you're confident going into that game, you would have laughed at you and said, no, we're losing that 2-0 or something. But even this week, they played all right, not amazingly, but that was like old school United. They got into the 80th minute and they'd scored 2-3 goals. A couple of them were ruled off as well. So it's just grinding out. That's something that Liverpool have been doing in recent seasons, getting that mentality back and just grinding out results. That's something that we need to do tonight, hopefully. Let's just get the win off the line.
Oh, no, definitely. And so this team, so we've got Ox leaving. And rightly so. For me, he should have left a couple of years ago. Keita, he's got Keita's the one that pisses me off the most. I ain't gonna lie, because Naby Keita cost 55 million, I believe. Oxlade-Chamberlain cost 40 million. That's almost 100 million pounds worth of talent we're letting leave for free. I understand why Liverpool were keen to giving Naby Keita a new deal, because they wanted it, because he's only 28 still. I think he only turned 28 the other day, didn't he? And because he's 28, I think they're looking at it and think, right, we've got to save some value on him. We can't just let him leave for free. Let's give him a new deal and then maybe sell him off in a year's next season. Yeah, which I can understand the business sense of it and the reason for it. But look, he's been all right playing for us this season when he's played the last few weeks, and he's been one of our better players, no doubt about that. But not enough for me to get a new deal. So Naby's leaving. That's one. Ox is going. Milner for me should go. I don't want to re-sign James Milner. I love James Milner a bit. This ain't nothing on him, because every time he's asked to come onto the pitch, he does a job. Right? He doesn't. And it's not a thing on him. It's just that he's going to be 38 and we need to move on. We need to move these players on.
And so we need to replace that mentality in the changing room as well, mate. If you are losing that character in the changing room, like Christ, imagine this season, yes, as bad as we have been and whatever anyone thinks of Milner in terms of on the field, but his attitude in the training grounds with the kids as well, what he does behind the closed doors, it's amazing.
First class. And, I watched his, do you watch that podcast he did with, is it Ben Foster? And he doesn't want to retire yet. He still thinks he can play. So he wants to go into coaching eventually. So if he wants to go into coaching for Liverpool, keep him as a coach. I'll be fine with that.
He'd be on reduced wages as well. It's not like he's going to be getting paid 100k. He'd probably be
we just need to make room in our midfield to buy players in. This is the thing. We have got 9 to 10 midfielders on our books. And so we can't really get anyone in till we let go of some. So we know Ox is leaving for free. We know Naby's leaving for free. Milner will probably leave for free. Then we've got
debate
Fabinho.
I was going to say Thiago as well, miss. I've been saying for months prior to his injury, miss. Yeah, his injuries, as we alluded to, and it's replacing that quality as well. It depends what type of midfielder we go with, Jay. Do we go back to the Gino Wijnaldum style player, the more robust, small, athletic midfielder, or do we go like Thiago, try and go like for like someone that's a lot more technical, a lot more controlling in a game, or do we go back to what done us so well in previous years? It's replacing that, mate. It's going to be massive surgery. It's going to cost a lot of money. Of course, it will be, and the quality that we want to be bringing it. And everyone around Europe, if you see 6 senior midfielders going out of Liverpool, everyone around Europe will be like, yeah, sounds. If you're coming for our midfielder, extra 20, 30 million on top, maybe you want him.
Yeah, I mean, it's mad, don't it? I mean, look, Fabinho for me, I've been in this thing with Fabinho for a while. I said last season that Fabinho looked like there was something wrong with me, and everyone went, Jamie, what are you chatting about? And then it got later in the season, everyone was going, yeah, Fabinho looks more fit a bit, and then this season he looks done. I just don't see how Fabinho, for the last 12 months on this decline, suddenly when he gets older, is going to get better next season. For me, it makes no sense.
The drop-off's mad for me, mate.
It's fallen off. It's like leading a blind man to a cliff. Do you know what I mean? They're all right walking there and there's nothing wrong, but they don't see the ending, do they? And they fall off. You know, it's the same with Fabinho. It's just like he played all right at the beginning of last season. He was doing well. And as the season gradually got on, I said it last year on the channel that you could see there was something was happening in his game. There was a little bit of a decline, and you know he weren't moving as freely and running as freely, and people were just walking past him. And then this season, the drop off is mad, and I just don't see that all of a sudden getting better next season. I just don't. And he's going to be 30 next season. So where's the proof that an older man is actually going to get better in the role that he has to play for us?
We've ran him into the ground, mate. We've done shows countless over the year, mate, and others we know. I think the equivalent, I think Fabinho's probably played the equivalent of 10 years football in the case of like a 5-6 year span, because he's literally been the number 6 in the midfield for arguably 45 to 50 or 60 odd games per season. For any athlete, whether that be NFL or whatever sport it is, if you're under that continuous pressure, yes, you can eat all the food you want, but still, it's a physical sport, as we know, and it's going to take it out of you.
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw a thing the other day where someone put up the amount of games that Fabinho's played. His body is now like a 34-year-old, and you can see that when he plays. And if that's the case, then I know people were saying keep him as a squad player, keep him as a squad player. He's a squad player at the moment. We see what happens when he comes on. It's shocking. You know, it's just... and Klopp's had enough. And the thing I think he might be up to leaving is because it looks like Klopp's had enough. And Klopp, because Klopp, what Klopp's doing at the moment is clever. Klopp's testing him. An 18-year-old kid has taken your place in your own position. We've got no DMs apart from Fabinho in this team, really, apart from Stefan. And he's an 18-year-old kid, and he's gone, right, Klopp's gone, right, you're taking his place. You're a good player, technically good. You're actually stronger, and you look for a little fella as well. So you're going to take his place. And for the last few weeks, he's been an ever-present in the team. And Fabinho does not look bothered. It doesn't look like I'm going to come on and show the world why this 18-year-old kid shouldn't take my place and fight for it. And it's just not like he's bothered. When Robbo was out of form, he put Tsimikas in. Tsimikas looked great. Tsimikas stayed in the team.
Got the reaction, didn't you?
Yeah, when Robbo came back in, he knew shit. I've got a left back now that can take my place at any minute. I've got to react. You know, that is what you need. And Fabinho's not reacting. So I think Klopp's looking at it now and thinking, well, if you're not reacting, then see you later. I don't know about you, Jack. I just don't see me in next season.
And that brings obviously what you were mentioning top of the show, mate. You were talking about the reaction in terms of what. Obviously, Jurgen will say one thing to the press, as we know, probably to get the media outlets to get the headlines and trying to take, of course, the elite level managers do that. They try and take away from the pressure, as we all know from the players, regardless of how good or bad they are playing. But as I said, he's been. He himself, all of his fans have been looking at this squad, but fundamentally, he and hopefully his coaching staff have actually had a proper look and reevaluated a lot of things within this squad. They know the deficiencies within the squad. All of his fans know it. The midfield there, he isn't even in recent weeks the centre-back areas as well. There's been talk of Matic potentially even as well in recent weeks. If that's the case, that's going to be very interesting because when he's not been injured, he's probably been one of the most consistent players in the last 3-4 year period for Liverpool. He's probably been in certain seasons, as we know, better than Van Dijk in some of the seasons as well. So, and even Canate picking up injuries here and there. It's not ideal when you want to get a more structured back line that is more consistency. Sometimes you can play through consistency, but fundamentally it comes down to tactics as well. You can keep on playing the players, and I think that's what Klopp's been doing in recent weeks, mate. He's went, right, Sounds, I'm going to give you an opportunity for certain players in this squad, and if they're not running in the hard yards and training, you give them 2 days off again, didn't you, mate? I think
he gave him 2 days off.
Yeah, so he said he's probably reevaluated, sat with a couple of his technical staff at home or whatnot on Zoom or whatever, and had an in-house. There's been a lot of in-house meetings at Liverpool Football Club, as you all know, but I think he's succumbed to knowing what he wants in the summer, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks, first and foremost.
No, I agree. Yeah, it does look like that. Yeah, gave him 2 days. I think he said he brought him in the day after the game for a meeting, and then he gave him 2 days off after that. And in that time, he said, even Klopp said, like, they re-evaluated behind the scenes, talked to the coaching staff and all that, trying to get things sorted to finish off this season on a high. That's what they're looking at now. But going into next season, Fabinho, for me, leaves his football club. Milner leaves his football club. Ox leaves his football. Naby Keita leaves his football club. That's 4 midfielders out the door. For me, Hendo stays because you do need that veteran player. People might not like it, but you do need veteran players in certain areas of the pitch, just in your team in general. So I'd keep Hendo. I'd keep Thiago because we've got to have a talk about Thiago in a year's time. Next season, he's got 1 year left in his deal. What do Liverpool do with Thiago? That's up for next season. But Thiago and Hendo, Stefan as a youngster. Then you got Harvey Elliott, obviously. Who else we got? Who else am I missing?
We've done shows in recent this year, mate, haven't we? Where all the lads and we've all spoke about the quota and chat as well. I'm not 100% so like the quota of English players. If Liverpool need to go out and we lose, as you mentioned there, mate, a couple of the English players, of course, might change in terms of the young players that we've brought through. I don't quite would Bacchetti come under homegrown? Obviously, we bought him
when he's 21. He will do, yeah.
When he's 21, yeah. So it's just like if you're looking at, and we know the market in England in relation to obviously the bloody English tax. Whoever you're buying, you're paying an extra 30, 40 odd million just for an English midfielder or whatnot. Curtis Jones, he needs to be loaned out, as we all know. Well, that's for me personally.
And Curtis Jones, you could say, like Albert saying, Harvey's probably not a midfielder, but where he plays under Klopp, unfortunately. But I do agree he should play right wing, or that number 10 role if he's going to play there. There should be the positions. You got Carvalho as a number 10, so they're just your young players that you got around the squad. So you got 4. So you got. Now this is where I come in for players we got to buy. So obviously we all know Liverpool are hungry for Jude Bellingham. Yeah, Henderson was grooming him at the World Cup. You know, almost had to put an arrest warrant on what Endo was doing. It's mad.
As well, miss. It was
Klopp apparently ringing Borussia Dortmund a lot, asking for updates on Jude and
cheeky FaceTime every single night. Like, I swear to God, we bottled this, mate. I was saying to the lads this weekend, like that's the biggest pie in your face in all of Europe, and there's a club.
This is where I got a thing on Jude. So my whole thing on the Jude thing. This is if FSG still own this football club, yeah. So if FSG, I'm doing this whole thing based on that Fenway Sports Group still own Liverpool. So guys, when I come to players that I think will come to Liverpool, don't shout me down, all right? It's based on FSG still being at Liverpool, right? If we got new owners, then you know
it completely flips the whole.
You know, if we got new owners at his football club, it's like Toys R Us when you're a kid. Do you know what I mean?
Get your pocket money and then just go on.
That's what it's like. You're going shopping. It's a good day. But this is with FSG still as our owners, guys. Big up Chaos. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Chaos, are you new to the channel? I don't know if I've seen your name before, but big up to you anyway. If you big up. I hope you're doing well.
I think someone said about me, blonde hair, ginger beard.
Yeah.
Someone's never seen a picture of Xabi Alonso. I met him in town once, and
he's got the gingerest beard.
he's got the biggest
gingerest
ginger
beard.
going. So that's how human genetics work, fella. So
a lot of blonde guys do have ginger beards, though, don't they? A lot of blonde guys do have ginger beards. But off the ginger stuff.
John Hannity.
So players coming in. Yeah, John Hannity is a legend. Who had a blonde beard. Weird. Jude Bellingham. This is how I look at Jude Bellingham. Big good morning to Amy as well from the US of A. Jude Bellingham, he has to come to Liverpool, right? All the stuff Liverpool put in for him, and it can't be like, I don't want to hear I ain't heard Liverpool say about Jude Bellingham. Look, come on. Liverpool Football Club are in bed with Jude Bellingham right now. We know that, and that it has to happen. But here's my thing on it. Where are we going to get the money to get Jude Bellingham for 120, 150 million? Now, obviously, it's not going to be up front, but it all depends on what Borussia Dortmund want to do. Right? Borussia Dortmund might want 70% up front and the rest over deposits, which is fine. It's up to Borussia Dortmund at the end of the day. It's their player. They're selling him. We're the buying team. So when it comes to the negotiation table, if they want 70%, 60% up front, Liverpool got to find, 70 mil up front to pay for Jude Bellingham. Now, when was last time Liverpool paid 70 million for anyone up front in one price anyway? It's never happened under FSG. So
was it the Jota and Thiago deal? It was like 5 million per season. I think the Jota one with Wolves.
Exactly.
Yeah,
simple done. Easy transfers. This deal is going to be massive. Absolutely massive.
It's going to be interesting, Jay, as well. Sorry, Dela. It'd be interesting to see if Liverpool go a route that Chelsea have gone with, mate. Because legally, and if it's financially doable and it's allowed, we'll find out in the next couple of years with Chelsea. But if they found a loophole, mate, then
we got to copy it.
Why can't Liverpool?
We've got to copy it. I've been thinking about this, right? Are you telling me every clever manager and owner in this country never knew this loophole existed?
Yeah,
but Bowley, who don't know anything about football, came from America and just went, "Oh, there's a loophole here." Are you telling me no one else knew this? Because I'll find that. I think that's balls. That is surely balls. You can't tell me FSG, the way they run, didn't know that weren't a loophole. The problem is giving players 8-year deals. That's the issue for clubs.
It's got to be so. Okay, so much of FSG give Curtis Jones a 8-year deal or like a Hendo it's going to be mad, though, mate. As he said, for an owner that wanted to play 4-4-7 or something when he came into the Premier League, he didn't even know what formations were. In all honesty,
but he knew the loopholes. Loopholes for financial fair play. Nah, come on, everyone knows these loopholes for financial fair play. It's just that no teams want to give new players 8-year deals. So look, they got Mudryk for 100 million. Yeah, gave him an 8-year deal. Who says in 3 years he doesn't work? What are they going to do with a player in 3 years' time when he's got 5 years left and he's still on big wages? What do you do? That's why I don't believe no one knew the loophole. It's just that owners are like, well, what do we do with players on 8-year deals if they don't work out?
It's got to be some player, Danny.
Yeah, like, if it's Messi at 27, you go, right, forever deal. It don't matter, does it? You know what I mean? But if it's someone like a Mudryk, who's an unknown sort of player, you don't know how he's quite developed because he's still young, and you give him an 8-year deal, and he's like 3 years' time, he's just a Pulisic. You're like, what do we do with him? He's got 5 years left on his deal, and how do you get around that? How do you get rid of that player off your books? Because he's going to be sitting there going, I've got 5 years on my deal left. I'm making good money here. I'm just going to sit here in the background and take my money. You know what I mean? It's mad.
How would that work? Well, it's probably a show for another night, but it's probably more better placed in terms of when I've looked at it, this placement as well. What happens if they re-sign a contract? Do the finances change then in relation to the money? Like, because surely you can't give someone an 8-year contract and then give them a further 7 or 8 year contract again. Well, that's That's what they're probably going to have
contract
to do.
renewal, exactly.
It
If,
is.
say Mudryk has a great 2 years, he's like, I want a contract renewal. I'm playing out of my
Extra
skin.
150 grand a week.
I want to go up my wages, an extra year on top. How do you do contract renewals on an 8-year deal? What? How do you do contract renewals? It's balmy. It's absolutely balmy. And look, I'm not just picking on Mudryk, by the way. He's just the player that comes to mind because he's a new player.
Enzo's going to be about 50 still at the bridge. So.
but by the way, Mudryk, if you're a Chelsea fan, I'm not a Chelsea fan, so I find it hilarious. But Chelsea fans must be a bit irritated by his social media activities. He's a bit of a strange character, old Mudryk, ain't he? He's a bit of a strange character. But with the Bellingham stuff, I just don't see Liverpool going 70 million up front, because it's got to be 70 million up front at least, and then payments over the top. They want between 150 million deal, right, for Jude Bellingham, right? Then if you buy Jude Bellingham and we're letting go of everyone else, the problem is that can't be our only transfer in midfield that summer, because we've then got Jude Bellingham, Thiago, Hendo, and Stefan, right? So we're still like no better off than we were the season before, because we've got less players now. Yes, we've got Jude Bellingham, but you still got an injured Thiago you can't trust so much. Hendo, who's 33, and a young Stefan. So really, you're nowhere near. You might as well not bought Jude. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I look at it like this. This is what I think Liverpool are going to do under FSG. Remember, guys, this is under FSG, not Dubai owners or Qatar owners or anything like that, where we go shopping. Mo Salah leaves this football club, right? Mo Salah leaves this football club in the summer. I, for one, if this is FSG in charge, right, I'm all for Mo Salah being sold. And here's the reason I'm all for Mo Salah being sold. He's going to be 31, I believe, next season, right? There is been a considerable dip in his quality in the last 12 months. We can't all sit here and deny that. There has been a serious dip. Yes, he'll score goals, all right? He'll always score goals. Cristiano Ronaldo will always score goals, but Man United wanted to get rid of him, yeah? And look at Man United now. They're flourishing. They're a better team without Ronaldo on their side. He'll always score goals, but there is a dip in his form. There's no doubt about that. There is a massive dip in Salah's form since last January after the AFCON. Before the AFCON, Mo was one of the best players in the world. After AFCON, till now, where we're almost in March, that's 13 months, Mo has been not great. Yes, he scores goals, but his all-round game has not been fantastic. He's going to be 31 years of age. We look like we're trying to play a different way now. And if we're trying to play a different way under the management, Mo doesn't look like it suits him. Like the way we're playing now, the way it looks like we want to transition into more of a technical midfielder, a more passing midfield, possession-based midfield, it might not suit Mo Salah. Mo Salah likes that end-to-end football, getting into space, turning the defender, go, go, go. Yeah, that's what Mo loves, yeah? And if we're transitioning away from that, it's not going to suit Mo so much. If Mo's the one we have to let go, I'm all for it. We have got young, up-and-coming forwards in the team. I said this earlier. I said this the other week in my video. We got 6 forwards in this team right now. 7 if you count Harvey Elliott, right? What do you do with them all next season? I know everyone will go, squad depth, Damien, squad depth. All right, squad depth, cool, right? I don't know any other team that have got 7 actual forwards, yeah?
I think when you
7
see,
actual forwards.
as we've seen in recent seasons, right, when we've been playing well, being a consistent starting 11, obviously with 1 or 2 coming in. Like you look at Arsenal, that's the same 11. City, there's obviously got rid of Cancelo, but you could probably handpick the starting 11 week in, week out with them as well. So
it's just we've got Darwin's there, Diaz is going to be there, Jota, Gakpo's just been bought. There's 4. We always knew one day the front 3 of Mane, Bobby, and Salah would be no more at Liverpool. And you have to rebuy. I look at what Liverpool have been doing for the last 12 months. The last 12 months, Liverpool bought a brand new front 3. It's gone under the radar a little bit, but they got Diaz, Gakpo, and Darwin in. That's a brand new front 3, right? And Liverpool might be looking at the future and wanting a transition. So you've got Mo there right now. if Mo is to be sold between, I don't know, 50 and 80 million for Mo Salah, yeah, right? And PSG are one of the front runners for him.
It's the money you save as well, long term as well, though, Jay.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of wages, like you're looking at like under the million or something stupid, whatever he's on.
Say you sell Mo for 70 million, yeah, right? You take that 70 million, you go to Borussia Dortmund, that's the down payment for Jude Bellingham, yeah, right? And then obviously the players leaving this club, so Ox, all that wages go come off the club. Milner, that wages go come off the club. Naby Keita, that wages go come off the club. You know, all the Adrian, wages go come off the club. Nat Phillips is probably going to leave, wage off the club plus a bit of transfer fee. Now, Liverpool got to save a lot of money in that area. All that money you generate and save from wages can be distributed back into transfer funds. That's what people don't get. So sometimes, you know, we let Mane, guys. You all know where the Salah contract came from, don't you? So Mane's contract went to Salah. That's all they did. So Mane left the football club, and because it was only 25 million, don't forget, we didn't, use the Mane money or buy Darwin. What we did, Mane left the football club, and whatever contract, the money that Mane was on, just went to top up Mo Salah's contract. That's what it did. They just topped it up with that. So I think that's what they're going to do. And then with that, this is the players I'd buy under FSG. So these are the players I'd buy under FSG. I'd get Jude Bellingham in. So Salah goes. Down payment on Salah is 70 mil for Jude Bellingham. That's the 70 mil to Borussia Dortmund. Then they do a payment scheme after that. I think that would get Jude Bellingham in through the door. Then I'd go to Wolves. I'd get Matheus Nunes in. I think that looks like that's mostly done. Then I'd go. This is where everyone fucking goes at me. Right? Everyone be like, I'm sort of okay with the Salah thing, Jamie. I'm all right with the Salah thing. I'm listening where you're going with this. And then I'm going, then this is where they go, oh, Jamie, shut up. Then we go to Chelsea, right? And we get Mason Mount. Now, people will go, no, Jamie, Mason Mount's dog shit. Mason Mount's dog shit. Mason Mount's dog shit. I said it, Albert. Mason Mount's a better footballer than people give him credit for, right? I've been saying this for a long time. We can't keep judging players by standards at another team, right? We can't keep putting players down because of standards that they play at another team. Look, Mason Mount is a goal-scoring midfielder, right? Mason Mount is a goal-scoring midfielder. If you want, it's all about systems. Mason Mount does not suit a Tuchel. He did suit more of a Tuchel, but he doesn't suit Tuchel is pragmatic, and he doesn't really suit a Graham Potter system as midfielder. Yeah, he really doesn't. But he does suit a Jurgen Klopp. He does suit a Jurgen Klopp system midfielder.
Very versatile as well.
Yeah, he just does.
Right,
he suits right. What we got to remember, guys, is what we got to remember is football is about systems. I am all for everyone going, no, we need Barella, Bellingham, Cassay, all these world-class players in the 11, yeah? How do they all play together? I'm all for it, but how do they all play together? Football is about systems, guys. If I told you, if we all did YouTube years back, well, I don't think Jack was, but I won't. But if we all did YouTube years back, yeah, and I told you, right, our midfield that we're going to win Champions League and Premier League with is Fabinho, Gini, Wijnaldum, Henderson.
Oh, there was a massive stink up when we signed Robbo. Mate, there was a massive stink up when we got Robbo. Oh, yeah.
You don't shoot me down. Gini, Wijnaldum. Yeah, and then Fabinho and Jordan Henderson and James Milner. That's our midfield that's going to win Champions League and Premier Leagues. Now you're having a giggle. But it was because it was part of the system. It's all part of the system. Right, you look at Pep's system at Man City. Pep's system, you have to be that kind of special midfielder to play his system. Yeah. So he needs your Gundogan's, he needs your Kevin De Bruyne's. Pep wouldn't win the Premier League, right, with Fabinho, Gini Wijnaldum, and Jordan Henderson in his midfield three. He just wouldn't, because it doesn't suit his system. It's not the system he plays with. If you give managers the right tools to play with their system, they will win things. Newcastle are in the top 4 right now. I think Newcastle got some very good players, but are they a top 4 11, not squad? No. But they're playing well because the system allows them to. Joel Linton is doing amazing in midfield. Who would have thought? It suits the system.
100%.
I think Mason Mount could do a job at Liverpool, right? We are all talking about we need a goal-scoring midfielder.
I think me and Jay are probably in I'm just looking at the comments as well. I think everyone's not in the Mason Mount camp, but it's interesting. What don't you like about the chat? Obviously, everyone's going to his goals and assists, but I think Jay's spot on in terms of athleticism. I think Mount's probably, when you look at statistics over the last couple of years, he's probably one of the most athletic players in the Premier League. He's got an engine on him, very versatile, as he said there, mate, but ticks the box, as we've already alluded to, mate, about 20 minutes ago when we were speaking about the quota. He's English. You're replacing... He's a massive improvement on Ox. Jesus. It's chalk and cheese in reality of those two players in terms of quality.
Yeah. I mean, look, guys, if I told you right now, right, we always moan that we don't get goal-scoring midfielders, yeah? We don't have goal-scoring midfielders, right? But Mason Mount can score goals in midfield. He can, he's very good with that late run into the box, yeah? What we got to do is not, when players play for other teams and a manager plays a system that might not suit that player, they might not look great. No one knew Jota was a goal-scoring forward when he was at Wolves, right? Then he comes to Liverpool. We put him in a position that suits his ability in our system, and he's a goal-scoring forward, right? I didn't think Jota was that. When I watched Jota at Wolves, I'm like, what are you Jota for? Jota couldn't sometimes get in the first 11 for Wolves.
I thought we'd only get
on the bench.
Neto, mate. If there was a player I think Wolves would have picked prior to Neto's injuries last couple of years. But I think Neto scored the disallowed goal a couple of months prior to his obviously emergence in that Wolves team at Anfield, and he would have been a player. But I was very surprised. I think a lot of us were with that, mate.
Look, yeah, exactly. Look, is there players better than Mason Mount? We could get a course there is. I'm not going to sit here and pretend Mason Mount is all-round quality footballer. He's a very good footballer. He can score goals from midfield, and he might suit our system. Everyone keeps telling me about the American duo at Leeds.
They got absolutely battered last night.
They got battered against Fred. They're good midfielders, yeah. Again, maybe they're playing in the wrong system at Leeds. Maybe Leeds' system doesn't suit them out. But at the moment, they don't look any better than anywhere else in the league. This is what we got to be careful about. We always go, English players are shit, foreign players are so much better. And we've got to stop doing that. We've got to stop doing that narrative because it's not true. It's just not true. Look, Mason Mount, I'm not saying he's a be-all and end-all, guys. I'm just saying if you got a midfield, if our midfield is if we got Bellingham, Matheus Nunes, and Mason Mount in our midfield, right, would that be better than what the midfield we got right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If you're bringing Mason Mount off the bench instead of Fabinho, I'm having that all day long. It's just we got to improve where we are now, guys. It's not going to be a massive process. It's not going to be like, right, we got these players, and then next season we're going to get Barella and Kone and Bellingham.
It's not like we're in the position
to system.
Fair enough if we'd won 5 Premier Leagues on the bounce, Jay, but mate, is it? But it's the thing. We're in the position now, especially if we miss out on Champions League football, mate. That's what we've all got to come to the realization. Yes, we're Liverpool Football Club, and we can think, of course, we're a massive institution, a massive football club, and players want to play for Jurgen Klopp. But if you've got another 4 teams above you getting Champions League football, Liverpool might have to pay an added premium in terms of wages to try and attract a certain type of player. But if that's the case, mate, I don't want that player at the football club. I want the player to come in, do what you've already alluded to with the players, mate, and do what we've been doing for the best part of the last 3, 4, 5 years in relation to trying to get that elite level, getting to that elite level performance levels. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, mate. I think I'd much rather us go back to what we've been good at, mate. How many times have we done podcasts, mate? And all of us, we spoke in the chat as well. we done our best business when we were very shrewd in the window. It's not always the £100 million players. You're telling me there's not a better midfielder than Enzo Fernandez for 100 million in the whole of Europe. You could probably get 2 equal players out there that can do probably 2 times the job for them. But Chelsea just went, oh, he's the popular player on Twitter. Well, he's had a good man. My man played 20 games in Liga NOS, and he went for 100 million.
I get you.
Mad.
It's mad.
Yeah.
Like, I think Gary Neville was saying it on the overlap, and he was saying that, Fernandez, for a midfielder in his position, the way he plays midfield, is now £100 million. That's just mad. Think of it. Think of Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez, like me and Jack saying, he's a fantastic footballer. There's no doubt about it. But what is £100 million getting you? Is he a goal-scoring midfielder? Is he an assist player? So at the end of a season, what is his goal score? What is his numbers going to look like as a midfielder? He's very similar to Thiago in many ways. Thiago's assists and numbers never look massive, and everyone goes. I remember when we bought Thiago, all rival fans going, "Why bought Thiago for?" Because he never gets goals, he never really assists. What you're getting him for? Enzo Fernandez is that similar sort of player, man. He's that similar sort of player, and he's the pass before the assist that opens everything up, but it's not counted on the stats, and no one goes look back on it.
You've got bigger issues than Enzo, mate. I think replacing Kante is a massive issue.
They need a 6, like we do. We need a 6 as well. And there's another one. So Kante is apparently a free transfer, and Liverpool apparently very interested in him. Look,
with our medical department.
if this was the Kante of a few years ago, and if this was the Kante of a few years ago, get him in, no doubt about it. But Kante's gone now. Kante's gone now. He's gone. Guys, don't get me wrong. Enzo Fernandez is a quality player, but £100 million for a central midfielder. What me and Jack are saying, you can get players equal to Enzo Fernandez that won't cost £100 million.
And I think all of us have said, mate, I've been on shows with you, mate, this last year, and all of us, if you can get 3 players that can very much fundamentally do the job at Liverpool, then, because of course they've got all the data science and they probably know a lot more than us all football fans on Twitter and everything. We can like a player, but in terms of what, as Jay alluded to, the technical player or the type of player that Liverpool need fundamentally, because we all know the deficiencies in the midfield, but there's going to be, I'm hoping that we go for, even if we can't get an A player that we want, don't do it to Tchouaméni. Go for your plan B and your plan C. We all know, was a Jay, we spoke about it, Salah wasn't the priority list. Everyone said Salah wasn't a priority. Klopp wanted Brandt. We got Salah after about 20 scouts telling them to go and get him. But it could be the similar case as well. And that Caicedo, get the next Caicedo before he goes to another European club, like a Brighton or someone. Caicedo, how much did he go for? Was it 4 or 5 million to Brighton or whatever it was? We need to start getting those players prior to the big move in Europe, because there is 100% value in the market.
Yeah. I mean, there's loads of market value around there. Look, Liverpool are just late to the party, in my opinion. Like, we saw Camavinga, he went for 20 million in Madrid. Gravenberch, then he gave for like 25 million to Bayern. Yeah. Liverpool were just late to the party because we held on to the players for too long. This has been our problem. We held on to players for too long past their sell-by date, and we've let the team grow old together, and that is the issue. This team has grown old together, and now we're paying for it. Now this is what we're doing. We're paying for it now, and we need to get this sorted. And Thiago, Hendo, and Stefan Bajcetic, for me, are the only 3 players that play next season. And then you've got to add to it. So I don't know about you, Jack, I don't think we need a big squad next season. We're not going to be in the top 4.
It's not like our defence is crippled. We've got a very good back line when you can actually defend, and you've actually got a 6 in front of them.
Yeah, exactly. You've got the midfield right. The team will go again. Yeah. We don't need a big squad. We're not going to be in the top 4. Europa League, I think Klopp won't take that seriously. I think he'll just push everything on the Premier League. So it'll be one game a week. Then you got your FA Cup and League Cup. You won't need a massive squad. So you can actually let go quite a lot of the midfielders next season that are out of contract and the ones you want to let go. And you don't need to replace every single one of them. All you need to do is get a couple of quality in. A Bellingham in, a Matheus Nunes and a Jude Bellingham. You get a Matheus Nunes and a Jude Bellingham in, a Mason Mount maybe. There's players around, a Kone from Nice. I know he's only like 30 million euro, that Nice would accept for him. That's a good price. Sorry, not Kone, Thuram, isn't it? Thuram at Nice. I think it's 30 mil. 30 mil.
There's probably loads of players like that, mate, as well.
You can get
Liverpool have
in.
inquired. I bet they go, yes, Andy, you can give him 30
million. You can get loads of these in and refresh this midfield. The midfield don't need... You don't need to do everything in one season. I think the problem is the fan base want everything done in one season. But it doesn't have to be, guys. If Liverpool are not in the top 4 next season, which they're probably not going to be, yeah? No top 4 next season. No Champions League next season. Liverpool don't need to have the biggest squad next season. No, they can shift a few out, and they don't have to replace everybody. If we let 4 midfielders go, but only bring in 2, I'm actually all right with that. Because if the 2 are good coming in, if it's Matheus Nunes and Bellingham coming in...
If the first team is, mate, in the 11, then that sounds nice.
Yeah, if it's Bellingham and Matheus Nunes that come into our midfield, and it's Milner, Ox, Naby, and Fabinho at leave, I'm actually perfectly happy with that. I'm perfectly happy with that. I am. And we don't need the biggest squad next season. We don't need the... What do you mean, Stephen? What do you mean? Let me know what you mean. Let me know what type of thinking is that, Jack. Well, let me know what you mean. Let me know what you mean, Stephen. Because we don't need a massive squad next season.
Especially
we're not going to be in Europe.
Mate. Jurgen and others of late, mate, in all honesty, I think Jurgen hasn't really built a team. Obviously, he's got players here and there. He's always had in his management career his best players poached from him at the peak moments in his career. Obviously, he got to 7 years at that Dortmund side. You listen to all the Dortmund fans. That team needed to go again, similar with Liverpool. And the comments this week, Jurgen, as much as it disgruntles certain sections of the fan base, he's going nowhere. We need to get behind him. He's Jurgen bloody Norbert Klopp, who's taken on us an amazing journey. And as you said, mate, he's not that far away from getting back up there. It's not like we've got to replace 11 players. It's probably improving in about 5 or 6 areas within the squad. It's just bringing that right calibre of player fundamentally, and I think we'll be back. And similar with City, everyone's talked about Liverpool, mate. City, if they don't win the league title, there's going to be disgruntlement in terms of implementing Haaland into the system and getting used to all that and everything. So it's not just Liverpool that are having a disappointing season this year, mate.
No, it ain't. My light is... All right, there you go. Yeah, no, it's like... How do we rotate a small squad? We won't need to rotate so much because we'll only be going for Premier League. You got a big squads because you're playing every competition, yeah? You're playing every competition, right? You can't build everything in one season, guys. Guys, we can't go in one summer and rebuild our whole squad. It's not realistic.
The last 4 years, Jay, have been probably not realistic, in all honesty. Oh. The sheer amount of games we've played as a football club, similar with City and other teams, it wasn't City, we've all seen the data and the numbers. No club ever done nearly what Liverpool done last season because it's not meant to really happen. And it just wipes them all out. But I think rotation will be key, mate, next season. Bearing in mind, as long as we get, as we said, the quality.
Yeah, exactly. Look, Europa League is a good look. Do I want to play Europa League football? No, I do not want to play Europa League football at all because, as you said, we're a big club. A big club shouldn't be playing Europa League football. We should play in Champions League. So, would I rather our football club do everything they can to finish in the top 4 next season? And by that, we have to rebuild, guys. This is what people I don't think are understanding. This club needs to be rebuilt. It's not just midfielders we need defenders as well.
It's
right?
the way we play as well, though, mate. We've
Yeah,
watched this team in recent months. It needs a massive kick up the arse. And
It needs-
tonight, it needs a massive kick up the arse.
Yeah, but it's not all going to be done in one summer, guys. It literally ain't going to be all done one summer. So we've got to take it like a little bit at a time. Let's start the process this summer, guys. Yeah, let's get behind it. Let's start the process this summer. Let's get rid of the rot in the club, right? Let's get rid of the rot in the club, right? Bring in a few good players, yeah? We're not going to be in Champions League. So let's concentrate just on Premier League only. If we get quality players in, yeah? If we get a Bellingham and a Mateus Nunes, say, in through the door, and maybe a Kone or something like that,
Like
yeah?
a 10, 15 million pound
Yeah,
player.
and then got 3 excellent midfielders there to go along with your Hendos, your Thiagos, your Stefan Bajetics, your Harvey Elliott's, and all that sort of thing, right? And then you got your forward line of you got your Diaz's, your Jotas, your Darwin Nunez's and stuff like that, and you got your Van Dijks, your Allisons at the back, your Trents and Robos. The team can concentrate just completely on the Premier League. If you concentrate completely on the Premier League, getting in quality players in, we could actually surprise everyone.
We'd blow the league away, mate. Like,
yeah, because Klopp would just concentrate. One game. And then you get back into the top 4, and then the following summer, you can build again on top of that. You got back into the Champions League, then you can build again on top of that. Don't forget, there is a January transfer window, guys. So Liverpool are doing well. Yeah, we're concentrating on one game at a time next season. Just Premier League. We're in that top 4. We're in that top 4 race. We're there or thereabouts. And then we go, right, January, now we just need to buy a centre-back in. Yeah, we need to buy a centre-back in. We've got our midfielders in the summer. Let's get our centre-backs in January. Yeah, let's buy one in January. And that keeps us going. And we're bang. And then next season, you can go and buy the 3 or 4 other players the season after that can then get you back into a title race. Unfortunately, it can't all be built in one summer, guys. We've got to do this. Actually, I said this the other day. It's going to take 2 or 3 years for Liverpool to get back up the top. It just is, because you can't do everything in one summer. We haven't got.
Would you say we've learned our lessons, Jay, in chat, in terms of the whole running as a club? Like, if Liverpool were to get in that position in recent years that we have been, where we're like a couple of points off top, and in Champions League quite deep into it, and we get into that position again, mate. For me, and I think all of us would hope that the club would then go, sounds, we're at top now, do what Arsenal are doing, having the odd 1 or 2 players there and strengthening. That's what I'm hoping, but time will be the biggest teller in all honesty, mate. But it's going to be interesting.
That's why, Danny, that's why I'm saying this is all to do with FSG. That's why I'm saying it won't all be done in one summer. That's why I'm saying it won't all be done in one summer. Look, if we got new owners in at the end of this season and they give Jurgen Klopp a massive summer transfer kitty, then go for it. I'm here for the ride. But if FSG is still our owners, guys, we've got to be sensible by this. It's not going to be all done in one transfer window. It's going to take 2 or 3 years. That's what I'm saying, guys. That's why this is all to do with FSG in charge. Like, if I keep saying, Milner leaves, Oxlade, Naby leaves, Adrian leaves, Nat Phillips leaves, Fabinho leaves, Queven Kelleher leaves, and Mo Salah leaves. They're the 8 players I think leaves this summer, right? People might not like it, but they're the 8 players I think that leaves this summer, right? Liverpool apparently trying to buy that.
Jay did probably say we were to lose, like, say 4 of them. Obviously, the contracted lads. That's still quite a lot.
Yeah, exactly. 4 of them are out of contract, and the rest are going to be sold. And I'm not saying it's right, by the way, guys. Again, this is on FSG if they're still our owners. If it's not, if FSG weren't our owners, I'd only get Fabinho and the guys out of contract would be the only ones I'd let go. I'm just putting that out there right now. But if you let them go, yeah. So that's them 8 players out the door, right? Liverpool already looking at that Belgium goalkeeper to replace Kelleher. So that's been in reports lately. As a Belgium goalkeeper playing in Belgium. That
not Mignolet, is it?
No, there's apparently a young Belgian goalkeeper that Liverpool want to bring in to be Kelleher's replacement. So if they're already looking at that, it's all to do with FSG, guys. If they're not a part of if FSG ain't part of the team, then If they're not part of the thing, then happy days. We don't have to have this
It
conversation
opens
about
it up, mate.
Yeah, we don't have. We don't have
Especially
to have it.
Liverpool and United got taken over, mate. It's game over for the Prem. Like, in all honesty. Like,
Dutch. I think he's playing in Belgium, ain't it, Gary?
Oh.
I think he's a Dutch keeper playing in Belgium. Something like that. I saw it in the online yesterday. Yeah, FC Bruges. There you go. Yeah, he's a Dutch keeper playing in Belgium. My apologies. Yeah, Liverpool already looking at him to replace Queeve and Kelleher. So, look, Liverpool are go. Yeah, that's it. There you go. That's the one. Yeah, Liverpool already looking to replace players, already to look at doing a thing. But if FSG ain't in charge of our football club, guys, then this is free hit. We can rebuild, but it's going to take time to rebuild this football club if you're under FSG rule.
Yeah.
It ain't going to be done in one summer. We ain't got FSG ain't going to turn into Bowley overnight. They ain't going to turn into Bowley overnight and just go, right, we'll go buy, and rebuild in like 2 transfer windows like Chelsea have. No, it ain't going to happen, guys. We've got to be serious and truthful about this. So we got to be serious and truthful about this. It's who have we got in charge of our football club, FSG? Who's the manager, Jurgen Klopp? Who's the coach, Pep Linders? Who's the players they're looking for? Ian Graham's left the football club. We're promoting within the football club to take someone to take over Ian Graham. I can't remember his name now. It's gone out on the top of my head. I had it earlier. But he's going to replace Ian Graham in charge of data analysis. Things are changing at the football club. All that in mind, it's not going to be done in one season, guys. If we're not in the top 4 this season, we're not in Champions League football next season, then do we actually need the biggest squad? No, probably not. We slim the squad down a little bit, get quality players in for the players that have left, help the team out, move the team forward. A Liverpool team that only concentrating on the Premier League every week with new players in the midfield, young, hungry players in our midfield, is a dangerous team.
Yeah, 100%.
It's as simple as that. And we build again like that. And that's how we build, as I keep saying. And that's why I think Mo Salah will leave this summer, because they help the build. We could be a better team next season, Peter. We actually could be a better team next season. I know it sounds weird, about Mo Salah being in a football team. But if you let Mo Salah go, we brought in so many young forwards, guys. Why do you reckon we've all brought these young forwards in, guys?
Yeah, a lot of people mention Carvalho as well. Like, he's predominantly a 10, and we don't play with a 10 unless we change formation. He's got to adapt. Similar to Robbo when he come in. He wasn't thrown in straight away. I think he got 1 or 2 games and then got taken out again, obviously when Milner come back. So it's as Jay said, just biding your time, chat, as well with the players. Certain players take a bit longer, which is a frustrates. But it's bringing them in the right moments.
It's just exactly, and you've got to buy right and sell right, and Liverpool ain't been selling right in like recent years, keeping older players and all that. Now, the Mo one hurts a lot of people, and I understand it, that Mo could end up being our 5th all-time goal scorer by the end of the season, which is amazing for a right winger. Absolutely amazing, right? But there's a time and place where you got to go, right, do we need to move on? But we brought all these young players in. Why have we brought Darwin Núñez in? Why have we brought Gakpo in? Jota, Luis Diaz. They all can't play at the same time. And I know people keep saying squad, and I'm happy with that. I want a big squad, obviously. But you can't put all 3 foot up. You can't have, I know you have 9 subs, yeah? 3 of them can't be forwards. You need defenders, midfielders, and a goalkeeper on there. So one's always going to drop out of the squad.
Ramsey's done my head in this year, mate. It's not him, but it's obviously the medical departments. Why we signed him when he was injured? Like, it's almost like we signed him and then he's more or less got over issues in terms of like it's like we haven't done a medical, and that goes to obviously the quality as well. When we spoke, you said today's episode, mate. If we had a more culpable or better right back to actually come in and compete with Trent, similar as we mentioned with Robbo and saying all the areas in the pitch, you would have seen a much better level from Trent this season. He's played all right, but not to the level and extent of getting 20 assists every single season that we know he is. But it's that needs to be evaluating as well. So
yeah, and like people were saying, if Mo leaves, he's going to score the goals. Well, Mo's got the same amount of Premier League goals as Bobby Firmino this season. So, does that answer your question? Mo Salah's got 7 Premier League goals.
Is Saïd still the centre half from Leicester? Is he our top goal scorer in 2023?
Yeah. I mean, like Mo scores 17 goals in all competitions this season, no doubt. Mo's great. Look, we've got to stop with the who scores goals if Mo leaves scenario. Look, Darwin Núñez. If Darwin Núñez isn't a better player next season, then let him go. Simple, right? I've been telling everyone this for ages. I'm letting Darwin Núñez, all new players in their first season, you get a let off. It's their first season. It's the following season where they need to improve. You know, especially foreign players coming to a league, don't even speak English. He's already said in an interview, doesn't understand what his manager's telling him to do. Yeah. So if Darwin's not better next season, then let him go. Simple as that. I'm all for that. You know, Mo was a weird one. He came in his first season. It was unbelievable. Mo's never hit the heights of his first season at Liverpool ever. And if you think about it, Mo hit his heights at Liverpool in his first season, and every season after that has actually been under that. So, you know, Mo's great and all that, but...
And that goes to another point as well, sorry, AJ, in terms of midfield as well. We need goals from midfield. We haven't had a goal scored in midfield since Steven Gerrard left. I don't think Chelsea have either when Lampard left as well. Obviously, they're the once in a bloody generation player, but hopefully, if it is Jude or another midfielder, would you say, Jane, James, that that's where, and we've already mentioned the complacency. I think that's a massive word for Liverpool in recent years. We've been far too complacent in our highs and even at our lows now, where we've went, we need more goals. Even your defenders, mate. How many times are we seeing Liverpool take a corner and it gets cleared by the first man the last couple of seasons? I know we obviously statistically we probably score quite a large majority of them, but considering it, you need to get more goals out of your team. It can't always be down to Salah. How many times we watched Gakpo this season, Jota when he has been fit, and not for long, and there's still goals out of Darwin Núñez. Luis Diaz as well. I think he got 16, 17 goals prior to his move last season to Liverpool. So it's about integrating him from a goals point of view, but fundamentally as a system type, as a team, we're not playing well in the system currently. And hopefully that changes tonight when we slap the F5-0. But yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a mad one. I love Mo a bit. Everyone knows that. Mo's great, man. Mo always score goals. Like, if Mo scores tonight, I'm celebrating. I'm loving if Mo scores tonight, yeah? It'd be great. I want Mo to score tonight desperately. Mo Salah needs to score a goal tonight. I'm with him. But it doesn't account for the fact that he has been poor for the last 12 months in his own form. He just has. He hasn't been the same Mo. And is that down to do with the team? Maybe. Is it down to do with the midfielder players behind him? Maybe. Is it down to who he plays up front with now? Probably. And there is a difference with playing with Mane and Bobby Firmino all the years he's been at Liverpool to then playing with Gakpo and Darwin Núñez. It's a totally different aspect because Darwin Núñez is more selfish, Salah's more selfish, and Gakpo's new to the team. So Salah, really, to get the best out of Mo Salah, you need to play with unselfish forwards that get the best out of Mo Salah. The problem is, because Mo Salah is naturally quite a selfish forward, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't understand why people label Mo as a bad thing for being selfish. I'm glad
every top player is, mate. Isn't it?
Yeah, I'm glad he's selfish because he gets the goals. You know, I don't understand that BS, yeah? But he's a selfish player. Darwin's a selfish player. And Gakpo's new to the team. So if you're playing with selfish forwards, you know, you need one to be, you know, like Sheringham and Shearer used to work really well together because Sheringham be the less unselfish one, you know, and Shearer be the more selfish one. You need that. You need that in your team. You need that. And Darwin, they like to do the unselfish one. Made Owen the better player because Owen was the selfish one, and Heskey was the. You know, Michael Owen to this day says his best strike partner ever is Emile Heskey because he did all the hard work for him and made him look a better player. Mo Salah has been excellent for Liverpool because Bobby Firmino is so unselfish. He helped Mo get all the goals in that area of the pitch. Why do you reckon Mo always looks better when Bobby plays? I always go back to it. Them 2 games before the World Cup that we played, we won both games. Yeah, we had Darwin on the left, Mo on the right, Bobby in the middle. We won both them games. I think we scored 3 in both games.
And even
and
that,
Mo,
the Bournemouth
and Mo
game.
looked excellent. Yeah, and Mo looked excellent because Bobby was through the middle.
Yeah.
But we can't keep going on about Bobby all the time.
He's 31, 32.
Yeah.
If he was 25, sounds. But
and then so what we gotta do going forward? Are we go have Darwin's gotta be the main number 9 going forward for Liverpool Football Club? That is why we bought him. Yeah. Yes, he's played left wing a lot for Liverpool so far because of injuries and stuff like that, or it's just been better suited to him playing out there in that position. But he's been bought as the main number 9, guys. Does anyone's So if Mo, so we've had to change Mo's game to adapt to Darwin Núñez, and it ain't going to change, guys, next season. So do we let Mo go because of that? And Klopp's just thinking, I've got to move forward with this front 3, or maybe I change to a front 2.
See, even integrating Jota as well, though, mate. That's it's what combination you go with. Obviously, idea, as we said today, mate, and just whoever we're playing, different tactics and everything. It's good that we've got these options now. Christ, imagine if all of them were banging in goals for fun, mate. If you had all 5 of them fully fired and fully fit, as we know, it would be one of the best forward lines in the whole of Europe by a bloody million miles. In all honesty, if they were fully fired, but they're not currently. But what would you say where would you play Jota for you, mate? For me, if you had everyone fit and Chalers, no, I don't know. It's going to be interesting because if Jota does come in straight away, because we've seen, as he said, mate, Darwin Núñez on the left in recent weeks and Gakpo through the middle. For me, I think we've seen it in a Champions League game or a European game where we had. It was Jota on the left and then Darwin through the middle. Might be completely wrong there, but it's going to be interesting how we do fully integrate them when we're all fired.
I think if we got everyone's fit, so Mo Salah doesn't leave the football club. Mo Salah stays at the football club, doesn't go anywhere, right? I think our best front 3 would probably be Diaz, Jota, Mo. I think Diaz, Jota, Mo would probably be Klopp's first choice front 3. And then you got Bobby, Gakpo, and Darwin on the bench. I think that's what Darwin was meant to be this season. I think Darwin's whole thing this season was meant to be an impact player, getting used to the team. I don't think he was meant to be as used as much as he is. I like when everyone's back, because apparently Luis Diaz is going to be back next month for the second leg of Real Madrid. When everyone's back and fit, I like to see what he does with Darwin. That would be the interesting one. Does Darwin then start becoming impact sub when everyone's fit? That would be the one I'm looking at. Because I do think when everyone's fit and know the system, I think Diaz, Jota and Salah is probably Liverpool's best front 3 for the system we play, which means Gakpo and Darwin. It'd be interesting, Jack, won't it? When everyone's fit, what he does with Darwin. Does Darwin go to that impact substitution play? Because I think that's what he was going to be all season. Remember, he didn't start the season. I think he was going to play. He was going to start games.
Even Firmino was moments like you've got as we already alluded to, 2 very different forwards, as we know. If you got those 2 to come off the bench as well, we see when I always go on about the PSG games last year or when Bobby got that winner, and I think we went on to the final anyway that year. And like that home game against Paris Saint-Germain, it was typical Bobby. The way he just drifted into the box. Build-up play was excellent that night as well. And it's going to be interesting, mate. I think we all know this squad's playing a bit down in the dumps in all honesty in terms of the form. It's bloody in the gutter. But I think once we get back up to the level that we all know we can play at, I think a lot of the rival fans, of course, will be silent. But let them revel in it because we enjoy it even more. Because they'll be silent for like a couple more years once we get back up to that level.
Exactly. Let me just read a few super chats. Big up honesty with the super chat, my friend. We need a 6 who is a bit of a prick. Some talented South Americans. Yeah, Liverpool definitely need a number 6. There's no doubt about that. They do need a number 6. Obviously, Caicedo's the one they're looking at. I would actually go to Spurs and try and get Basuma. He's not wanted. I'd actually go to Spurs to try and get Basuma. I think you can get Basuma for cheaper than Caicedo from Brighton. Because I only
bought these points. I think Joe, I don't know, you feel mate in chat. I've watched Liverpool this season. How many times have we seen a referee or like players ruffle up with some of our players, and all our players like that? It's not really.
Yeah, we need a prick. We need someone. Look, Robbo's the only one who does it. Robbo's the only one who leaves something on someone. That's why no one likes him. We need that midfielder. Look at Rodri. Look at what Rodri's filth, but it's filth in a good way. That's what you want, right?
That's the fight. We've missed that fight this season, mate. In recent weeks,
we need that. I'd honestly go to Spurs and try and test them for Basuma because it looks like he's not wanted there, and they only bought him for 20 mil, didn't they? So I'd be like, another one. Why did we get Basuma when he was only 20 odd million going to Tottenham?
Yeah, I think it's Iram said Paulino as well, mate. Was it 15, 20 million? The fact that Liverpool supposedly, we look in the Portuguese league, that one is not even just Liverpool. A lot of clubs have just let that go under the radar. In reality, he's a tremendous player.
Yeah, I mean, we just got to get players in, man, like that. I've literally got, because Caicedo's going to cost, man. If Brighton finish in European places at the end of the season, do you know how hard it is to go get Caicedo off Brighton's books?
A lot.
If they're in European places. He's going to be like, I might just stay for a little bit. And Brighton are going to be like, we don't need the money. So it's going to cost you 80 to 100 mil for him.
Can we just monitor Brighton scouts, mate, for like 6 months? And just say, who are they replacing him with? Yeah, we'll go and get him.
And if Brighton finish in European places, is McAllister desperately going to leave Brighton straight away? I don't think so.
He'll get a new contract in him.
Yeah. Big up honesty again with Super Chat. I also want Ralph Rangnick to be one who follows Julian Ward and let him cook and let him. Right, I've been saying this for a while and I've got stick for it. I'd have Ralph Rangnick as sporting director. It's his job. It's what he's good at. It's actually what he's good at. He's great at developing and finding young talent. Do you remember Gerard Houllier did it for the French national team, didn't he? That was before he became a manager again. Gerard Houllier was great at spotting young French talent, didn't he? That was what his role in French football was, right? Ralph Rangnick is actually very good at doing that. He's good mates with Jurgen. He told Jurgen to not buy Upamecano and buy Konate. No, thank you. You know, because Jurgen went to him who's the better player, and he told him Konate is a far better player than Upamecano. The only thing with Konate is got injury issue, but I'd actually wouldn't mind Ralph Rangnick as sporting director. You know, yeah, he went. Look, Ralph went to Man United and literally told them everyone there that it was shit and that needs to leave. Yeah,
and now they're doing. He basically went, like, you're gone.
And everyone was like, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And he was right. The man was right. He said Ronaldo has to leave the football club. You know, you have to get these players out of this football club. Ralph Rangnick basically tore Man United to pieces. He said the top room at Man United is shit. The scouting shit. Everything's shit. And they're like, you know, I'd actually get him in, man. I think as a sporting director, he's very good at that job. He knows great talent. Yeah. He knows how to produce young talent as well. He might be one of
just that. I think we'll just take anyone that's good at the job, mate, won't we? Like it's going to be interesting. Was the Monaco fellow was linked this week, or I suppose he's leaving? His role, I tell you, there'd be I don't know his name. Paul.
So everyone's saying about that. Piss off, Jamie. He brought Latale Pongle. Do you know he didn't buy them for Liverpool? Huh?
Like, he probably recommended certain players.
He probably recommended them, but everyone's got to remember these were quite high-rated players around Europe at the time.
Shadu before he come to Liverpool, Christ.
Only because they turned out to be poo. By the way, not all of them did. I mean, some of them are doing all right further on in their career, but only because they turned out to be poo don't mean they weren't highly recommended in Europe at the time. You know, and plus, how many years ago was that now? Football's moved on massively. I don't think he bought them for Liverpool. I mean, everyone's saying he bought them for Liverpool. He weren't part of Gerard Houlliers' team. I don't know where that's coming from. Yeah, and the players Ralph Rangnick wanted, he weren't backed for, was he? He wanted Haaland, didn't he? Who else is it he wanted that have gone elsewhere that he wanted and they didn't back him?
Probably a lot, mate, isn't there? Like, a player that I've not seen a lot of him. Hard to judge off like 90 minutes, but I watched that. There's a young lad called Cherky at Leon. I've not seen a lot of him, but I watched him against Lens last night, and supposedly he's meant to be.
Oh, sorry. I think everyone's saying Houllier. Oh, big up the chat. I think them players I mentioned were Houllier fines.
Oh,
okay. Big up the chat. That's why I was getting confused because of the Ralph Rangnick thing. I was like, what the hell? It's I'm with you now, guys. They're all Gerard Houllier fines. I'm getting you. I've got you. Yeah, that's fine. Houllier was drunk when that happened, but I do remember some of them players were quite because weren't we linked with Auxerre for a while?
Quite a lot,
if I remember rightly.
We got
Gerard Houllier. Yeah.
It's a messy period for like a lot of the clubs. Was it Zlatan Ibrahimovic was on loan at Arsenal at like 15, 16? Never took him up. And
by the way,
$1 million off the Dani Alves we could have signed, but
and we had Odegaard on trial, and Brendan Rodgers said he weren't good enough.
Beautiful human being. Yes.
We had Odegaard on trial at the training ground in Melwood with a Liverpool shirt on. He had a trial, and Brendan Rodgers said he weren't good enough, and he'd never make it in the Premier League as a top player, and sent him back off. And then, do you know where he went straight after? Real Madrid.
If we speak, we'll be in big trouble, don't we, Starson Rodgers?
Yeah, but big up the chat. Sorry, guys. I thought you were talking about Ralph, but about them players. That's why I was so confused when you're all bringing them players off. When Mac was bringing them players off, Rajan Pop was bringing them players out. I thought, Ralph Rangnick never bought them for Liverpool. What the hell am I chatting? And then it's like, no, it's Gerard Houllier, isn't it? Yeah, big up. You got me so confused, man. But yeah, Ralph Rangnick, I think would do a good job for sporting director for Liverpool. But they're looking at Paul Mitchell as well, the Monaco man.
Yes.
Who apparently did he work under the
I think he's done
the Red Bull franchise as well, didn't he?
I've seen like a video.
Salzburg and that.
He's got a very good portfolio, that Mitchell. Like you look at it, and when you look at especially he knows a thing or two about French talent by the looks of it. That Monaco academy, apart from obviously the Portuguese clubs, especially Benfica, who have probably made next to $1 billion off transfers, like in terms of recruitment over the last 10 years. Amazing business strategy point of view as well. They're minted. But yeah, the Monaco academy in like the last 5 years has been not so short of a miracle, in all honesty.
Yeah, it was when Brendan Rodgers was manager, David. It was when Brendan Rodgers was manager. He was only 16 at the time. You got to remember that. Odegaard was only 16 at the time. But he was tabled then as the next big thing in European football, weren't he? But he was only 16 at the time. But it was when Brendan was coach. And I think I've got a photo of it somewhere. I'll get it for the next video. But I've got a photo of Odegaard in Liverpool shirt in Melwood. I'll have to get it up for you guys. I swear it was when Brendan was in charge. I'm trying to think now. Must have been. I think it was Brendan's first season.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And he they said he was never going to make it. Then he went to Real Madrid. He was in Real Madrid's youth system for a while. Then Madrid loaned him out to teams like Real Sociedad and that.
Yeah, I think was it Iman Kubo, who's currently on the books of Real Sociedad, I think. I think those two are like a similar age. Obviously a Japanese midfielder, or wide man anyway. Yeah, so those are two of the top like 15, 16-year-olds at the time as well.
Hey, mate, much love to you, my man. I'm going to take it you don't like Nunez. Fair enough. Look, the Darwin stuff, I can understand people not liking Darwin. I really can. I get it. I do. I'm just going to give him till next season. If Darwin's still not doing it next season, then cut your losses. That's all I'm going to say. Jamie, how many games do you think Jota will need to get up to speed? Probably 5, 6, 7, something like that. The thing is, though, we haven't really got enough time for it. He's sort of got to bang it, but we've got to be clever with Jota. I wouldn't start him for a while. I'd have him as a sub in quite a lot of games.
Like the last 20 minutes of games, innit? Just
Yeah.
bring him on sparingly.
Yeah, we got Biscan. We didn't need Odegaard. Do you remember when Biscan in his last season for Liverpool started to be all right and do these mad runs from midfield and taking people on and stuff like that? We gave him like a lease of life, and it's like, what is going on?
The maddest one was when we went to try and get Barry, and then we just didn't have the funds. Like at the time, Gareth Barry was a very good player, but he wasn't quite Xavi Alonso.
Yeah,
as
Rafa
we know.
Was going for it. What is Rafa doing? Rafa's like, oh, I'm sick of Xavi Alonso. I'm sick of how good Xavi Alonso is now. I need to downgrade and get. It's like, what was that?
You can even argue that we haven't replaced the quality of Mascherano, Gerrard, Sissoko. That midfield that time, it was, as the song goes, one of the best midfielders in the world.
Best midfield in the world, wasn't it? Yeah. Mohamed, Mo Sissoko, Mascherano, Alonso, and Gerrard. Jeez, how we didn't win the Premier League, I don't know. But yeah, it's like, that's just mad. That is just mad. Nigel Spackman, yeah, be up the 80s. What's my feeling for the Madrid game?
Hide behind the couch. Fingers crossed. Just an average Mac when we get to it.
Weird thing is, I don't think Madrid are that great in form themselves at the moment. Apparently, I've been reading.
They've been conceding goals,
and apparently Ancelotti's job's on the line or something. So
yeah.
I don't know. Liverpool in Europe, it all depends. If Liverpool can win the home leg, because I know we're home first, we can win the first leg by 2 clear goals. I think we go through. But you know the weird one. You know the weird thing about Real Madrid. It's better getting them earlier in Europe than later on.
Yeah,
it's always better getting them in the last 16 because you've got a chance. You get them in quarterfinals and semi-finals, you're like, fuck it. So, you know,
it was last year, wasn't it, mate? And just like when we were watching them, you were just squeaking through every round, like Chelsea, City. Like it's like they should have well been out weeks prior to the bloody final, but certain clubs bottled it. So I know people go, yeah, we bottled in the final, but they had two legs to knock them out, really.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game. But obviously, look, we got tonight's game against Everton, Jack, and there's a lot of talk. There's gonna be a special guest there tonight.
It's gonna be me.
Yeah,
I'm going.
Jack's a special guest, you see. But yes, apparently there's going to be special guests there tonight. And a lot of people are saying it's new owners. There's going to be someone from Dubai and Qatar there, apparently, and all this stuff. I don't know. They're going to witness a shit show. Hopefully not, though. But who do we start in midfield tonight, Jack? Who do we start in midfield tonight? Because obviously there's no Thiago. Does Henderson get called back into the team tonight?
If he's fit, yes. Bajcetic 6, 100%. That eradicates that position. Hendo, if he's fit, 100% on the right. Naby on the left. Bajcetic in the 6.
Do you worry about Stefan playing number 6 in the Merseyside derby against... Look, Everton have got a powerful midfield. An athletic midfield. Onana and playing like that. They've got very athletic, bullyish midfielders. Do you worry about Stefan playing this game?
Yes and no,
do you think
mate.
We need to protect him a little bit?
I think he's got to experience it, though, mate. I think I tell you what, always around the world, if he gets a crunching tackle, gets the ball, that'll settle his nerves instantly. I think if other players round Bajcetic are having poor games, then I think, of course, he might struggle in certain areas. But I think like a young Steven Gerrard breaking into the squad, Carragher breaking into the squad, it's all about Trent a couple of years ago when they need these experiences. Whether it goes good or bad, they just need to get this under the belt. Obviously, potentially playing the Man United game in a couple of weeks as well. It's all a learning curve. And if you can get over this little hurdle, because that's what it is, little, then it'll seem good, mate, I think. the fact that he come on against Wolves as well, though, mate. I understand, like, obviously, the athleticism and that, but I think if Hendo's there alongside him, Trent's having a good game, terrorising them down the right-hand side, of course, there'll be concern, but
yeah, I think
the crowd is up for it as well, mate.
So what I was thinking yesterday, because I didn't do a show yesterday, so I was just thinking, like, watching football and all that, watching the games and all that. I was sitting there thinking about the derby, and I was thinking, James Milner.
20 seconds in, yellow card, straight through.
Does James Milner play tonight? And if so, does he actually play right back instead of Trent?
That'd be very disappointing on Trent, mate, innit? Obviously.
Because Trent's been taken off in games lately. Yeah. And he's not I think Klopp was talking about body language the other day, weren't he?
Yeah, massively.
And I think he was talking about Trent, because the way Trent was acting and all that. It wouldn't shock me if Milner starts at right back tonight as a surprise. And the other one,
left wing for Everton. Sorry, mate. I was speaking to him, calling me Ev, mate. I think he was, Ryan. He was saying that they're looking like the potential playing Gray and the other fella, whoever it is, but a bit more pace. So I think we'd need a bit more pace at the back, but we'll find out.
Let me get Everton's last game against Arsenal, wasn't it? Let me get now. Everton have had a bit of a rest, They haven't played for a while, have they? So Everton played McNeil, Decore, Guay, Onana and Iwobi, and then Calvert-Lewin up top. So they played like a 4-5-1.
Traff's just said put Nat Phillips centre-mid. Go ahead, lad.
So McNeil and Iwobi probably on the wide areas of a 4-5-1. But Nat Phillips, obviously, I don't think there's any room for discussion here. Nat Phillips plays tonight.
He deserves a chance, mate, because we seen Gomez last couple of weeks, and you said with the attitude, mate, as well. Like, Nat Phillips, absolute legend. He knows what it means to play for Liverpool. Of course, Gomez does, but Gomez's attitude has not been the best, in all honesty. But look at him. If you threw a bit into the box here, dead their way, wouldn't he? Big Nat.
Yeah, Gomez is shocking at the moment. Yeah, Naz, I'll be on tonight, my man. I'll be on tonight. Yeah, Gomez is shocking, man. Gomez is absolutely.
He's all over the place. I said to me, Evan, mates, put a. I think he was saying what Liverpool player would guarantee a yellow card at this moment in time. I said Gomez. Either Bajcetic or Gomez in terms of what.
Look, I would go. We know this is a Sean Dyche team, yeah. We know what's going to happen, yeah. Long balls, crosses, violence, yeah. That is what's going to happen, right? I'd rather have Nat Phillips at the back in this game. 100%. Him and Matip have to play. They got the height. They're going to have to defend set pieces. How bad have our set piece defending been this season? Get Nat in there. Nat's going to head everything. He don't care if he has to go up with anyone and get caught in the head. He's headering everything. Nat's going to have brain issues when he's older. Poor Nat. But while he's still active, use the man. It has to be Nat. I do not. Look, there's rumours that there's going to be a surprise at the back today. There's some rumours going online at the moment that he might go free at the back. If Klopp goes free at the back, then...
Oh, mate. Oh, if we actually had Trent and Robbo pushed up the pitch...
If he goes free at the back, like a lot of us have been asking now for months, go free at the back. Go Gomez, Nat Phillips and Matip. Because I don't mind Gomez in there if you go play a free. Because then you can use Gomez as that extra defender with the pace and the athleticism to bring, But then you got Matip and that as the standing centre backs. Then you can use Trent and Robbo more as wing backs further forward. Then you can play two up top, maybe. Play Look, because what everyone forgets with Darwin Núñez, yeah. Darwin Núñez is far better with a proper striker next to him. When you look at him for Benfica last season, he played up front with someone else. He played off somebody. Yeah, play him up top with someone. Change it up a bit. I don't mind. Change it up a bit. More than likely, that he's going to play 4-3-3. So if he's played 4-3-3, for me, it's got to be Matip and Nat Phillips, surely.
That's probably the only way you combat against Everton as well, though, Jay and Chas. as you mentioned.
Look at Tom. Look at Tom.
Yeah.
I don't know what the problem is having Matip and Gomez at centre back.
Behave, Tom. And where to you after the game, lad?
We're going full Linders. Apparently, that is what Pep Linders wants to play. So apparently, I've been reading that Pep Linders wants Liverpool to transition to a 3-4-3 side and play 3 at the back. But Klopp don't like 3 at the back, does he? Klopp's come out and said it many times. He doesn't like playing 3 at the back, and he only uses it in no-win situations. He plays it, but I don't think it's time to meddle in a Merseyside derby and do something we've never played before. So, firstly, 4-3-3. Matip and Nat Phillips have to play.
Who'd be your midfield, Jake? I was going to say
my midfield. I just feel like Milner's going to play somewhere tonight. I don't know why. I just got it in my head that it's a Merseyside derby. Klopp might be thinking he might want to protect Stefan from how rough it can be. It's a Monday night. It's under the floodlights. Does he just go?
I think he's a big lad, though. He can handle himself, though, mate.
Does he go full Brexit? Does he go full Brexit? Fabinho, Matip, Fabinho, Milner, and Hendo. Full Brexit.
I wouldn't want to go on Twitter after the game.
Full Brexit.
We'll post our links, Jay, and then get off.
Full Brexit. Just Milner, Hendo, and Fabinho. No nonsense. Full Brexit. Here we go.
Milner and Adrian, boys and girls. Go on.
If that team comes up at 7 p.m. on Twitter, I'm just going to laugh. If that's the midfield, I ain't going to laugh. Because there is no Thiago, so he isn't playing. Does he feel like Naby can play in a Merseyside derby? Does he feel Naby has the intensity to play a Merseyside derby? This is what he's going to think. So if he thinks no to that and Thiago ain't playing and he wants to protect Stefan, then who else is there?
I reckon he's going to play Curtis Jones, Jake. I've completely forgot about Curtis.
Curtis can play. Oh.
It's where he plays him. That's where he's got to be plays him left wing. No.
Just Harvey Elliott. If Harvey Elliott plays, look, Harvey Elliott should play. Harvey Elliott's our most informed player. Let's not get it wrong. Harvey's in good. I know people hate. I know there's Liverpool fans who don't like Harvey. I don't get it. He's only 19 years of age.
19, yes,
yeah, I mean, what we do, there's freaks out there. I think Goldbridge has been talking about this as well, about Garnacho, is it? Like, a lot of Man United fans saying he's not as good, maybe he should be rested and all that. And like he was saying as well, yes, you get a lot of freaks out there at 18, 19 that are just exceptional. But if you look at world football entirely, every player and all the 18, 19-year-olds, Elliot ain't actually that bad. He ain't actually that bad. But no, Fabinho can't start. I just feel Milner might start right back, you know. I think Milner might start right back. I think Milner might start right back tonight. My midfield would be Hendo, Keita, and Stefan. I think that would be the midfield 3. Then up top, I think he goes Mo, Darwin, and Gakpo. I think that'd be the front 3. I've got this little feeling though Harvey Elliott might play left wing.
I want nothing more, Jay, and chat. Let us know if you could pick one player. I just want to see, even hopefully we get the win tonight. But Nunes, what do you reckon he's gonna do if he scores in a Merseyside derby? He's just gonna run like an absolute nutter into the cop, get his top off, and
I'll be worried that Darwin's going to get sent off tonight. That's what
Gets a hat trick and just does something stupid. It's like,
you know what? Deitch is a clever man, and people don't take Sean Deitch seriously. I love Sean. I think Sean Deitch is a quality manager, right? He's got to tell his Everton boys today, rough up Darwin.
Yeah,
rough up Darwin because he's a bit loose. He's a bit of a loose cannon. Rough Darwin up, boys. Get in Darwin's face all the time. You know, put in a hard tackle. Make him know that you're there. Get in his eyes, get in his face, get in his head. And Darwin could get sent off tonight. It wouldn't shock me.
That's where he needs his protection, though, from his own players, though, mate. Because if they start that, 2 minutes in, He needs, like, obviously, whoever plays for Liverpool tonight, but you need your experience. Even it needs Robbo, and we spoke about this on today's episode on the show. Like, if it needs a Milner or a Robbo to get involved, protect your players. That's what I've missed this season, our players. And that's why a massive physical presence in Ibu, mate. I miss Ibu bouncing kids. Like, the little Bruno Fernandez's with his little finger. Bouncing them all around Old Trafford, mate. Like, we need that physicality in the team.
We're going to need it. Like, Cody's going to live in Darwin's head for free. Yeah, look, Cody's a Liverpool fan. He knows how much this game means. He's going to get into Darwin as much as he can. I know Klopp comes into Merseyside derby sometimes and puts a strange team out, don't he? He does it quite a bit in Merseyside derby sometimes. So
we haven't got the Origi selection, have we? That's one thing that we always used to love.
I've just got this feeling. I don't think Jota will start, Aaron. No, if Jota starts, that's mad. How long he's been out injured for? If Jota starts tonight, that'd just be mad to me. I think Jota would be great off the bench. I'd love to see Jota come off the bench tonight, which he should be in the squad. He's trained all week. He said he's trained really well all week. There's another player we're forgetting actually in the midfield. Hang on, sorry. I've forgotten about Arthur Melo. Is Arthur Melo in the squad tonight?
If he's fit, you just put him on the bench.
He's training all week. He's fit and ready to go. Do you put him on the bench?
Probably put him in the stands, in honesty, mate.
It's just madness, ain't it? No, I'll probably go Naby, Hendo, and Stefan, Gakpo, Darwin, and Salah a bit, and then I'd probably play Milner over Trent at right back. I'd probably play Milner at right back. Trent. Klopp made a point about body language and stuff like that. Trent looked miserable, so he might be. That's who he might be talking about. So this whole band thing, about Melo, apparently he's not. What I've been reading into it, apparently because Melo was part of the transfer, but Juventus had got done for, weren't they? Lying about transfer and age and all that. And apparently, no, he's not going to be suspended at all. I don't know. I literally don't know about this team. I literally don't know about his team right now. Should Gakpo start? No. This is where I'm.
What a goal would do him confidence, though, mate. If he can get a goal on the derby,
mean, it'd be massive. But this is where I'm. Like Aaron's saying about does Jota start?
If Jota's fit enough to be on the bench, I think Aaron's spot on. I've always gone in this notion, don't know you feel, mate, or chat. If you're fit enough to be on the bench, I understand. Like, but it's for me. If he's on the bench, he should be able to start. Like, I'd start him if he's on the bench. Start him for me.
If Jota's fit and ready to go, it's a Merseyside derby. Does he just go? Jota knows what this is about. Cody's not been in great form. Would it suit Cody Gakpo right now to come off the bench and influence that way more than starting? Aaron might have a point. Jota might start. Yeah, I mean, Jota has played 90 minutes, as Aaron says. A 60-minute game. Come off. And
he's got that attitude as well, Jay.
Then bring Gakpo. Then bring Gakpo on for half hour. And then on Newcastle, we'll probably go have Van Dijk and Bobby back. I mean, it's just... Oh. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather protect Jota and not have him start. But I don't know. If Gakpo was in scintillating form, I'd be like, there's no rush for Jota. You know what I mean? If Gakpo was in scintillating form right now on that left-hand side, I'd be like, don't worry about Jota. Let him chill. Let him sit on the bench and bring him on slowly. But Gakpo's not at it right now, and Jota knows what to do in a Merseyside derby. You'll be like, Klopp be sitting there right now thinking, do I just start Jota tonight?
This is the scientist that there, Jake, the crocodile.
Yeah.
He knows exactly what it does to. He's probably. I love Jota, mate, and Jota, it's his attitude.
But then Trot might not be on the bench at all. There's rumours Bobby might be on the bench tonight. Who knows? Is it? Look, it's a bit of excitement for Liverpool for once, to be fair.
I just want this game to start, mate, and just get right into them. Like, none of this half. Get into them. That's what a derby's all about.
I think it's going to be the most derbiest of derbies tonight. You know, derbies in recent times haven't had that edge to it. I actually think this game's going to have a lot of edge to it tonight. I think there could be a sending off. I think there could be goals. I think it's going to be a proper derby. You got into it, did you say?
Yeah, mate. It was obviously the last derby I went to. Like, we won. So hopefully, fingers crossed.
Oh, there you go. Good luck.
I've got a good percentage. I'm unbeaten in derby games. So, but yeah, I'll be singing my lungs out, mate. I'll be singing for everyone. But it's going to be hopefully not a nasty atmosphere, but you want Anfield. And we've done shows, mate, over the last year, mate, and we know the Anfield atmosphere hasn't been its best. We all know that.
I reckon it's going to be electric tonight.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's top tier.
I reckon it's 8 p.m. kickoff under the lights. It's a derby. I think the atmosphere is going to be cracking tonight. I really do. Big up, Jack. Thanks for joining me, my man, as always.
Thank you very much for having me on, mate. As I said, and everyone, enjoy. I'll be watching, obviously, the post-match as well. On my way home and everything. So, but thank you for having me on, Mason. Enjoy the game.
Guys, don't forget to go and subscribe to Jack's channel, Anfield Road TV. Go and check him out over there. If anyone's any mods in the house right now, can you put Jack's link in the chat? I'd be appreciated. Guys, I'm going to be back tonight at 7:30 for the derby, doing the watch along, guys. So make sure you all come and join me at 7:30 tonight. Hopefully we have a good game, an enjoyable game that we can watch, and it ain't a bore fest like the last derby. Jesus Christ!
You'll see me appear if Dominic Calvert-Lewin's for the one goal. I get a red card.
Yeah, where you sitting tonight? Where you sitting tonight?
Lower Kenny, mate. Yeah,
Lower Kenny. So we're gonna have to look out for Jack. So Jack's gonna do something so we can all see him. Jack's gonna be like, "Woo!"
Too small, laddie. You won't be able to see me.
Right, guys. Big up to everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. This afternoon, sorry. And again, I'll be back tonight, guys. So when this video ends, you're going to be taken straight to my watch-along video. Can you, everyone, please just go and leave a like on that?
Everyone smash the like
straight away. Yeah,
as well. Come on, everyone.
Go and hit that like button straight away, guys. There's 118 of you in here. Don't go anywhere. The video's going to end, and my new video will pop up on your screen. Just leave a like on it straight away for me. I'd appreciate it, guys. And then I'll see you tonight for the watch-along. Big up to everyone. Oh, hang on. I might not have done some super chats. Let me remember. Okay, honestly, we need a couple of players, new sport director, plus a medical staff. So it's not going to be done in 1 to 3 years, I think you mean. And I think he said, question, how do we stop Onana? You 2-footing with Milner.
Yeah, Milner, 20 seconds in chat. If we're all watching, or Jay's going to be on his live stream, like, go on, get him.
Big up, guys. Thank you very much. Do appreciate all love. Go and hit that like on the new video right